cool talks about all the time. Literally,
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets would clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Beautiful St. Bede Academy for Homecoming 2025. Nothing better than a beautiful Saturday afternoon football at St. Bede Academy. As always, a very festive atmosphere. And my partner for today's broadcast, as always, is Mike Brown. And Brownie, just a gorgeous day on the warm side for October. It's definitely not hooded sweatshirt weather, but no rain in sight. And looking forward to a very competitive game between what would appear to be two pretty evenly matched teams in St. Bede and Dwight.
I think it will be, and if I'd have known it was going to be this nice, I'd have brought the suntan lotion.
Yeah, I smelled some earlier. Some people had some on. That was a good idea. That's why I'm wearing my hat with not much up there to protect my bald dome. We are in the press box here out of the sun, but yeah, folks are getting some sun out on the field. And looking at these two teams, Brownie, again, St. Bede and Dwight coming in at 2-3. The Bruins coming off a loss last week at Marquette, 42-7. They got wins over Bureau Valley and Lewiston. Dwight on the season, they had a forfeit win week 1 over Lyle and beat Rock Island Alleman, who just restarted their football program over in the Quad Cities. Dwight comes in on a 3-game losing streak, and something that stands out here, Brownie, the last 3 losses for Dwight, they've given up 51, 50, and 50 points. So it would appear that points are there for the taking for St. Bede's offense today.
Well, and if we want to talk about that, I think Coach Jack Bede would be the first to tell you is that the lines on both sides of the ball are going to have to block a little bit better, because I'll bet you St. Bede's quarterback Gino Ferrari must have put on 12 miles running around trying to escape the hard rush from Marquette. I mean, they're very quick and they're through the line, and it was hard moving the ball. St. Bede had less than 150 yards total offense, gave up over 300 last week, and I think that probably a little bit of emphasis on offensive line blocking and defense this year in the Bruin practices.
We're going to take our first break. Today's broadcast is presented by Grazer's Plumbing and Heating. Their team is on the field 24/7. Try going a day without seeing their red vehicles. Find out more at grazerheatingplumbing.com. We'll tell you the result of the coin toss coming up as we continue St. Bede pregame. And the pregame show today is brought to you by Edward Yauk, Republican candidate for Bureau County Sheriff with 34 years of law enforcement experience. Ed's the right person for the job. Vote Edward Yauk for Bureau County Sheriff. Back from St. Bede Academy after this.
Country Financial's more than just an office you pass as you drive through town. They're part of your community and help support programs that help your neighborhoods thrive. They take the time to get to know their customers. They understand that every situation's unique. Their goal is to help understand yours so you can feel confident about your financial security and future. Call your local Country Financial representative, G.W. Laynod, at 664-4145 and find out how GW can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own, no matter what it looks like.
Hey, this is Mark at SITK Kitchen and Bath. We've got a great new bathroom product for you. FIBO shower wall panels. That's F as in Fox, I-B-O. FIBO interlocking waterproof panels. They're made in Norway and hugely popular in Europe. Now we got them right here in Princeton, Illinois. You can cover an entire wall with this stuff and run it right through your shower. Hey, come and see, and let's imagine together at SITK Kitchen and Bath in Princeton.
Some people in Streator could use a good coat or blanket for this winter. The Rotary Club Coat and Blanket Drive is underway right now. The locations to drop it off include Church of the Open Bible, Streator Family YMCA, Kroger, and Streator Ionized Credit Union.
Feel smarter. Start your day with Rod and Tom.
It's the smartest show on the radio.
On 103.9 WLPO.
Jeremy Aiken and Mike Brown back here as we continue our Edward Yauk pregame show, and just had the coin toss. The St. Bede Bruins won the toss and chose to defer, so they will kick off as we begin the game, and Dwight will receive. Brownie, let's go ahead and do our key to the game, brought to you by Connexus. The key to every winning team is seamless connection, and the key to your home is an ultra-fast internet. Connexus fiber internet keeps you connected at the speed of life, so you can work, stream, or game without a hitch. See more at Connexus.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus. What do you think the Bruins have to do to pick up a W today?
Well, I think the first thing they have to do is they got to tighten up the defense. They've been giving up a lot of points. As you can see, the last against Marquette and against Eureka, they gave up a lot of points. They've had a really good game against North Bruin and fell a little short. They're going to have to get better blocking on the offensive line, give plays a chance to develop, because the line has got to make sure that they can get developed and get their blocks, hold their blocks longer and sustain them a little bit longer, because they got some quick backs. And Gino Ferrari, the quarterback, a left-hander, is deceivingly quick. And he seems comfortable running either left or right and throwing. And normally in high school ball, you don't see a lot of left-handers, and sometimes I see in a couple of games where him running left, the defensive back's coming up thinking, oh, he's not going to pass, and receivers got behind him. So that's something to keep in mind for the game as it goes on.
All right, that is the keys of the game. And mentioned the coin toss was won by the Bruins in today's coin toss for the homecoming game of St. Bede, brought to you by WeTech Wealth Management in LaSalle. Don't leave your financial future up in the air. Contact the professionals at WeTech Wealth Management in LaSalle for sound investing and financial advice. Go Bruins. Let's hear from the coach, Jack Bede, as we have our coaches interview coming up today. It's brought to you by Heartland Auto Body. When a player is hurt, the team isn't 100%. Vehicles are the same. Accidents happen. Let Jason Maurice and his team get your vehicle back to 100% at Heartland Auto Body in Princeton. You're listening to the Ed Yauk pregame show, and Grazer's Plumbing and Heating, presenting sponsor of St. Bede Homecoming Football. Coming up next, our coach's interview with Jack Bede on 103.9 WLPO.
Possum, you see that gorgeous sport car coming this way? You want to jump out in front of it zigzag style, make them go in a ditch?
What's the point, Raccoon? They just take it to Heartland Auto Body and be fixed up like new.
They still at 1515 West Peru Street in Princeton?
Yep, you know Denny the Deer?
I love Denny the Deer.
Well, he messed up the front end of a truck 2 weeks ago. Saw it last night. It was like nothing happened. Heartland Auto Body fixed it up so good, they even handled the insurance paperwork.
Those guys are going to put us out of business. Guess it's time to get a real job, huh? Think they'd hire us as consultants?
For complete auto body and collision repair, plus paint, maintenance, and more, trust Heartland Auto Body. Give them a call at 879-7767.
St. Bede Academy Bruin pregame show continues with our coach's interview, brought to you by Heartland Auto Body. Joining us is St. Bede head coach Jack Bede. And Coach, coming into this homecoming game at 2-3, the same as your opponent Dwight. Let's talk about preparation coming into the big homecoming game. How's the week of practice been leading up to week number 6 for the Bruins?
Yeah, we've had a pretty good week of practice thus far. We have an extra day this week preparing since we play on Saturday. It's going to be a fight. Dwight and us are in the same spot. A win in week 6 here would be a big help, trying to get to 5. So, we plan on getting their best shot, and then we definitely will be giving them ours.
You mentioned, Coach, an extra day. You had a Saturday game earlier in the year as well. You're a coach. Of course, you had the extra day when you were a player as well with homecoming. Any major differences in preparation, with this homecoming week and the extra day? Or I guess tell me, as a player, what have you noticed that's different now being a coach? Do you like having the extra day, or is there some downside to it?
Well, you like having the extra day on the week of the game, and then you don't like playing the game on Saturday the following week, right?
right.
And then you're short a day. So you just got to take advantage of the long week and go out there and get a win. Player-wise, I mean, they are the biggest difference is they have a jam-packed schedule, outside of school and practice during the week with, the parade, the variety show. They got powder puff, all these other activities going on that are additional to what they're used to. So I just try to make sure they're still getting to bed at a good time throughout the week, and I hope they have a great week and a great weekend. But nonetheless, our goal is first and foremost to win a football game.
What can you tell us about Dwight, Coach? What have you seen on film from this year's team?
Dwight, they'll come at you with a very balanced attack. They have a quarterback who's got a pretty good arm, and he can sling it a little bit. They have a tight end that they love to get the ball to, whether it's on screens or down the field. That'll be a big key to the game is we got to limit his targets and, limit his catches as well and just make sure at all times we know where he is on the field. But no, they're a solid football team, and it's going to be a test for sure.
It is homecoming week, Coach, and you've been through homecoming as a player at St. Bede, and now you're going to experiencing your first one as a head coach. I know you've been an assistant for your alma mater, but it probably never gets old, right? Just everything that goes with it, and the pride and the hoopla leading up to it, and what it means to be part of the St. Bede homecoming year after year.
Yeah, it really is a special week and game day atmosphere you get at St. Bede that I truly believe is unlike any other. The alumni that come back, you get in great bunches. We got all the way down to, I think, the class of 55 this year coming to the game. You get to see people that, you went to school with, but also, you got people that are 10, 20, 25 years older than you that you get to interact with. And, it's different than where you're just going to go out the night before with your class and that's it. We actually spend the whole day Saturday leading up to the game, and then, we have the Bruin jam and all that after as well. So it's a nice long day of alumni, reconnecting, catching up, and it really is just a great day.
Injury front, Jack, obviously it's hard to believe we'll be 2/3 of the way done through the regular season. How's your team looking overall as far as the injury front goes?
For this part of the season, we are relatively healthy. A couple bumps and bruises, a couple, kids having to sit out a couple practices this week. But for the most part, we're doing pretty good.
That's great to hear. St. Bede head coach Jack Bede, I want to wish you the best of luck and go out and get a win over Dwight on homecoming.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Some people in Streator could use a good coat or blanket for this winter. The Rotary Club Coat and Blanket Drive is underway right now. The locations of dropping off include Church of the Open Bible, Streator Family YMCA, Kroger, and Streator Ionized Credit Union.
We ask that you please bless the students, families, coaches during this competition. Keep them safe from harm and help all participate as the very, very best version of themselves. Filled with your kindness, your grace, and your love. Amen. Let's play some football!
All right, Jeremy Hick and Mike Brown here at St. Bede Academy. All the pregame festivities are in the books, and that'll wrap up our Edward Yauch, Republican candidate for Bureau County Sheriff pregame show. And coming up, opening kickoff, the St. Bede Bruins opening kickoff brought to you by Illinois Valley Credit Union. And again, the Bruins will kick it off to the Dwight Trojans as the wind howling pretty good here. Of course, we're down kind of in the bowl, too, so there's not much to stop the wind here at the Academy.
And it's like a crosswind. Here's a trivia question. Ask some people, when was the last time a St. Bede game started on time or early? I mean, it seems to be, it seems like...
Well, being known, I do LP games each and every week, Brownie, and they've yet to have a game start, I think, before 7:30 on the LP side of things, so I hear you.
It seems, it seems like it's a given. You probably get a good odds on something like that.
You probably could. Here we go. St. Bede going to kick it off, and back to kick for the Bruins. Ryan Solomon, end-over-end kick taken by Dwight inside the 20. Trojans ball carrier is going to run all the way across the field, and he's got a pretty good return out to about the 35. That kick was returned for Dwight by number 25, Aiden Collum, and we'll probably call his name quite a few times. Collum will be part of this rushing attack for the Dwight Trojans. Again, they score quite a bit, and they give up quite a bit of points. Luke Standiford is their head coach, and this is a Dwight program that was a state playoff team last year. In fact, they got to the quarterfinals, Mike. They were 8-4 a year ago, so probably lost some personnel, but still, this is a program that is fresh off playing 12 games. You've gone a long ways in the IHSA when you've played 12 games in a season.
Probably run into a little bit of overcoat weather there.
Yeah. That's where you want to be, though.
That's right.
Any high school football fan, player, and coach.
And want to play that 13th, 14th week.
Here's the opening handoff for Dwight. He turns the corner, and he's got a first down run. That was number 10, Evan Cox, with the carry, and the tackle made for St. Bede, Stuart McGonigal. But by the time Stuart had tackled Cox, it was a first down run for Dwight, a gain of 12 on the opening play of offense for the Trojans. Both teams wearing the green and white. St. Bede in their home green, white numbers, green pants, green shirts. Dwight in the road, white shirts, white pants with white numbers. Or green numbers, actually. There's a handoff, and he's got running room off the left side.
Defensive end cut in.
And that was the player that returned the kickoff, Aiden Collum. And that's another first down carry. This one's marked down at the 35 of St. Bede. So a run to the right, a run to the left, and both for big yardage early on for Dwight here.
23 for Cox that time.
Again, Illinois Valley Credit Union brought you our opening kickoff. We'll get to our weather of the game once we have a stoppage. Game time weather. Dwight going to hand it off again. Second man through. He's got a few blocks. Turns it inside. McGonigal makes the initial hit, and then making the final tackle for the Bruins was number 36, Landon Marquez.
Boy, I tell you, he has been a monster at playing not only in the field as a fullback, but boy, he rules that middle linebacker spot with his quickness and his speed.
Second down and 10. No gain on that carry for Cox. Actually looked like that was Tyson Walker, number 20. And that time they gave it straight up the gut to their fullback, and not a lot there. Well, that was number 25, Aiden Collum. He got a few yards, looks like 3 or maybe 2. Third down and long coming up for Dwight. But yeah, it is sunny and warm here. Game time weather at St. Bede Academy is brought to you by Town & Country Services. Whether it's hot, cold, dark, or light, Town & Country doing whatever it takes 24/7. See everything they can do for you at townandcountryservices.com. Turn around and a handoff, and going to be short of a first down is Dwight. A host of St. Bede Bruins making the tackle at the 30. That looked like number 25 again, Aiden Collum. Game time weather, sunny and 84, and going to be in the mid-80s pretty much throughout the game. No rain in sight. So big early play here.
Fourth and 4. Probably a little bit too close to punt.
Yeah, too far for a field goal.
Yeah.
3 backs in the backfield. Power look for Dwight. They're going to hand it off to Collum. Dancing around, and let's see. I think he's going to be short.
I think so too.
He needed 4, Brownie. It looked like he got maybe 3.
Yeah, it looks that way.
So a nice early defensive stand by the St. Bede defense as Collin got 3, and then his forward progress was stopped. So nice job by the St. Bede Bruin defense, and now we'll get our first look at the offense led by quarterback Gino Ferrari. That drive took a little more than 2.5 minutes off the clock, 9:21. No score between St. Bede and Dwight here at the Academy. Marquez in the backfield to the right of Ferrari.
I'd be surprised if they don't go with Marquez right off the bat.
Ferrari left-handed toss out in the flat, just off the fingertips. He had a man. Incomplete. It was Hermes. Could not bring in that pass play. Just a one-two-step quick drop from Ferrari, but zinged it out there, and Hermes just had to go off his fingertips. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bruins at their own 26.
You're wide open like that, it's so tempting. Even at the pro level, you want to run before you catch. You got to look it into your hands.
Again, I want to thank Grazer's Plumbing and Heating, our presenting sponsor today of St. Bede Academy football on the radio and on our Star Rock Media YouTube channel. Ferrari going to tuck it down. I don't know if that was the initial.
I think he missed the handoff to Marquez.
Yeah, it was kind of a high snap, in which set out with the timing was kind of off. And Gino just kind of took it down and tried to get a little out of something and got back to the line of scrimmage. So it would be 3rd and 10, no gain on that quarterback keeper. Clock running down under 9 minutes in this first quarter of play. See if St. Bede goes to the air, one would think, at 3rd and 10 at their own 26. Opening possession offensively for the Bruins today. Straight drop back pass by Ferrari. Gino looking over the middle and overthrows a receiver, and boy, you could argue it should have been picked off.
Yeah,
that was Asher Cargill, the Dwight player. The intended receiver was Drew Carboni.
And he missed guy, was that Riva, I think, that was wide open down the right sideline there. Couldn't quite see. So.
And he had Carboni open, but the ball just sailed.
What if that had, the wind may have something?
Yeah, I think good point, Brownie, because the wind is kind of coming out of the southeast. And it might have added to that as it just kind of sailed on Ferrari. Back deep to return this punt for Dwight is Joe Duffy. He wears number 5 at his own 35-yard line. And Solomon with the punt. Nice punt. Very nice punt. Fair catch called for it about the 33. So beautiful punt by Ryan Solomon, almost in his own end zone, and he put a good foot into that one. And
41 yards.
Yeah, Dwight will take it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. No score yet. Each team has had an offensive possession. Dwight went for it on 4th down, and St. Bede stopped him. And St. Bede went ahead and went 3 and out on their first possession and had to punt it away. So our second look at Dwight on offense. Predominant run-first type of a team. And we might have a false start. Oh, it's going to be offsides on St. Bede, so that's a free 5 yards for Dwight. First penalty of the afternoon.
Last year was a good back-and-forth Nickman game down at Dwight. And St. Bede had a 4th quarter lead and couldn't hold it against the Trojans.
Yeah, looking for that. Yeah, it was a 1-possession game. Yeah, you're right, Bronny. 29-27 was the final score. Dwight pulled that one out as they were well on their way to a deep run in the playoffs. So 1st and 5 for the Trojans. And they're going to do a quarterback keeper. He's hit.
Oh, he bounced off.
And still hanging on to his jersey, though, was St. Bede's Carson Riva. And he slowed him down enough where his teammates could come and help him out. But still a gain for the quarterback, Colin Beshand. And it'll be 2nd down and about 2 now. So quarterback keeper, there was no doubt in that. That was a designed quarterback keeper there.
Yeah, it was run all the way.
And Riva did a nice job making the initial contact, and then when he didn't go down, he heads up play to grab the quarterback's jersey and not let go.
This is a good pass here if you want to take a shot.
Right.
Good pace on the field, good down and distance, because you still got 3rd down.
Well, they're going to go ahead and play power football, get that 1st down run. It was Aiden Collum off the right side. So Dwight moves the chains out to about the 47, gain of around 5 for the Trojans. McGonigal credit with the tackle for St. Bede. 1st and 10 Dwight. Ball spotted at their own 47. We're 4.5 minutes into this homecoming game on Saturday afternoons. No score between St. Bede and Dwight. Jeremy Aiken, Mike Brown, Mike Sabatini behind the camera on the Star Rock Media YouTube channel. Back under center is Dwight's quarterback, and they're going to fake the run, and they're going to look to pass. And he was hit and breaks away, throws incomplete.
Wow, that was a escape move.
Yeah, St. Bede had a couple players in the backfield and on defense, including Damian Baker was there. And just couldn't bring him down, though. Also looked like Weston Heersink. But you got to give the Dwight QB credit. He bounced off a couple linemen and at least got it away. Incomplete pass. He had a receiver in the area, so no intentional grounding. 7:10 left here in the first. Clock stops on the incomplete pass for the Trojans. And they're a little double counter, and St. Bede doesn't read it very well, and that's a big run down the sideline for Tyson Walker. He handed it off to one running back, and that running back handed it off to Walker, coming around on like a jet sweep, a counter. And Walker had a lot of running room in front of the Dwight sideline, and he wasn't tackled until he got down to the St. Bede 39-yard line.
Pick up 15.
So Dwight's had a few big chunk runs here in this first quarter. He was tackled out of bounds at 7:03 to go here in the first. Dwight 1st and 10 at the St. Bede 39. Scoreless so far. Now back in the pistol is their quarterback, and he's going to keep it and going to be brought down in the backfield. Nice job by looked like Weston Heersink brought him down in the backfield. Fake the handoff did Dwight to Aiden Collum, and the quarterback kept it. And no gain on the play. Maybe they're going to give him a yard, I guess. Heersink brought him down near the line of scrimmage. Forward progress makes it 2nd down and 9 at the Bruin 38.
If the first possession was any indication, this is probably 4-down territory.
Yeah. 2nd down for Dwight. And they go to the first man. Bounces off a tackle, puts his head down. He's got a 1st down inside the St. Bede 30. That was number 25, Aiden Collum, in the fullback spot for Dwight. A quick hit out of the backfield, and Collum gets it down to the Bruin 28-yard line.
Another 1st down.
Actually close to the 27 now, they'll mark it. So 1st and 10 officially for Dwight at the St. Bede 27. We're halfway through this first quarter. No score between St. Bede and Dwight.
5th 1st down now for the game for the Trojans, moving the ball steadily on the ground.
Yeah, so far St. Bede's had a bend, don't break defense. Let's see if they don't break again here this possession. Dwight's going to hand it off.
Oh, big hole.
Off the left side, and he runs into the St. Bede defender. Going to be brought down. That was number 10, Evan Cox. And making the tackle was Gino Ferrari for the Bruins.
Picked up about 9, though. Now, it looks like about 1.5. Where they moving up to.
Good start for the Cubs. Brownie, a leadoff home run for Michael Bush in the top of the first. We'll monitor that. The Illini playing right now. Notre Dame starting at 2:30. Just a huge sports day. So give him a gain of 8 on that.
Again, this is a good play. Good down distance for a shot.
And instead, they're going to pitch it out, and he's looking for blocks. He gets it. He's got the 1st down. St. Bede fans were hoping for a hold. That was Evan Cox with the run. So he's got a 1st down for the Trojans. They'll mark it at the St. Bede 13.
Pickup of 6.
Of course, replays today on our Star Rock Media YouTube broadcast are brought to you by your local Edward Jones agent, Derek Brayton. Let Derek take another look at your investments today. 1st and 10's Dwight at the St. Bede 13. And they're going to hand it off, and another nice run inside, right around the 10-yard line. That was number 25, Aiden Collum, before he was pushed back by 2 or 3 St. Bede Bruin defenders. So gain of 4 for Collum. 2nd down and 6. Dwight can get a 1st down here. Counting down to 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Ball spotted at the 9. 2nd and 6 for Dwight. Their quarterback goes in the pistol, and they're going to hand it off, and turning it inside, getting away for 2 or 3 St. Bede defenders was Evan Cox, and he turned what looked to be a loss into a gain for Dwight. Still short of a first down. Marquez got the tackle. 3rd and 1, they'll say. So that was a gain of 5. Close to it.
You know, St. Bede is hitting high. They got to hit a little bit lower. They're getting to the ball carrier, but they're not hitting them low enough to bring them down. And
so 3rd and 1 at the St. Bede 4-yard line.
Well, definitely 2-down territory,
yes,
you would think.
Dwight quarterback is under center. And he hands it off, and untouched into the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown run. Aiden Collum with the first score of the day. So Collum, a 4-yard touchdown run for Dwight, and the Trojans strike first today with a 4-yard touchdown run. A pretty impressive drive by Dwight.
That was a 66-yard drive and 11 plays.
11 plays after a good punt by Solomon for St. Bede. The extra point is good. So Dwight takes a 7-0 lead over the Bruins.
Welcome home to the 14 class celebrating reunions this year. Today we have alumni spanning 65.
Again, it is St. Bede homecoming. A lot of festivities going on later today. Bruin Jam, homecoming dance will be tomorrow. Great parade yesterday. Busy time. I know they had a ceremony this morning at the academy as well. So again, an impressive drive for Dwight as they get on the board first, 7-0 over St. Bede. Another game in our area today, Fieldcrest is in action. They're on the road at Walter Christian. So some other Saturday high school action. Of course, following the Fighting Illini 2 college football, they're up 30-21 about midway through the 3rd quarter at Purdue. Another Big Ten game in the 3rd. Michigan still leading Wisconsin 10-7. And after the middle of the 1st, Cubs 1-0 over Milwaukee. Let's see if the St. Bede Bruin offense can get a drive going here. And short kick, a couple oh boy, it's on the turf. There were 3 or 4 Bruins there, and Dwight got it, I think. Nope, no, good job. St. Bede was able to, well, that would have been disastrous.
Oh, yeah, especially after a score, it would have been a...
Looked like Stuart McGonigal was the right guy at the right place there to recover for St. Bede, as the initial Bruin had to go off his hands, and there were 2 other Bruins, and they kind of bumped into each other, collided, and that gave Dwight time to get down the field and almost recover that kickoff. So no harm done for the Bruins. 2:57 to go in the first, 7-0 Dwight. St. Bede starts this drive at their own 24. Ferrari at quarterback. Gino going to look to pass. Throwing and just over the head and incomplete.
Again, that's another ball. Looked like it sailed a little bit.
Yeah, A.J. Hermes again, the intended receiver, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for St. Bede.
I'm really surprised St. Bede's coming out as passing as much as they did early on. Usually they, and Marquez.
He hasn't ran the ball once yet, has he?
No. Makes me wonder if he got nicked a little bit or something maybe in the game last week against Marquette. Because usually he's pretty well. I guess they did try to give it to him the one time.
Right. You're right. You're right. 2nd and 10, and Marquez gets it this time. Bulldozes his way off left tackle. Positive gain, maybe for about 3. Gain out to about the 27 of St. Bede. So it'll set up a 3rd down and around 7 for the Bruins. Counting down to 2:30 left in the first. Wind blowing pretty good here at the Academy today. A sunny, dry day. Looking like we may finally get some rain Monday and Tuesday. Under center is Ferrari. Gino gonna pass. He's in trouble. Throws it, and there's, oh boy, that's probably, is there a receiver close enough? They are gonna say, well, he was a ways away.
Yeah, it was a long
Carson
ways
Reba,
away. Yeah.
they'll give it to him.
Well,
yeah,
that was pretty generous call. We'll just leave it at that.
Carson, I guess, was in the neighborhood. So incomplete pass for Ferrari, 4th and 7, and the Bruins are going to have to punt it away again. So far, the St. Bede offense hasn't been able to move the ball against this Dwight defense.
I think that was more like in the vicinity, not the neighborhood.
Not even the neighborhood, huh? Maybe in the same zip code.
Same area code.
Area code, either way, yeah. Solomon, who really put a boot into the first one, going to get this one away. A little shorter punt this time. Going to take a St. Bede bounce and settle down and around the Dwight 43-yard line. 2:04 to go here in this first quarter of play.
Call that a 30-yard punt.
1st and 10 Dwight. They lead St. Bede 7-0.
This is a huge defensive stand coming up here for St. Bede, because you get a running team with a 2-touchdown lead and a good way to control the clock. And they got, again, Dwight's got great field position with own 46-yard line.
1st and 10 Trojans at their own 43. Third offensive possession of the day for Dwight. They break the huddle. Quarterback starts in the pistol. And they're going to pass. Marshawn looking deep, has a man down the sideline, and he makes the catch. No, they're going to say he was out of bounds.
Oh, wow, there's a break for St. Bede.
Yeah, heck of concentration and a catch by the receiver, but the official there on the sideline said when he caught it, he was out of bounds. That was Tyson Walker, so.
He had to have both feet out of bounds.
You're right.
One in for college and in high school. Might have looked back, and the sun may have caused him to just move a little bit across the inline there, or sideline.
So 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass. 1:58 to go. And they'll go back to that ground game, and there's a good gain for number 25 for Dwight. That is Aiden Collum. Gets it across the 50 down to the St. Bede 49. Going to set up a 3rd down and about 2 for Dwight.
3rd down and 2 for Dwight.
Counting down to a minute and a half left here in the first. 7-0 Trojans over the Bruins. Dwight with the football, and now on the St. Bede side of the field.
I'm looking for a former colleague here today because his grandson plays for St. Bede, Rick Sipovic. I'm sure he might be in the vicinity.
Handoff, second man through, has a forward progress for a 1st down. Needed 2 and got 3.
I think it was that Cox.
25.
Yeah, no, Collum again.
Collum again, yep. So 1st down Trojans. Ball spotted at the St. Bede 46-yard line. Coming down to the end of this first quarter. Going to be about a minute left in the first quarter when this ball is snapped.
St. Bede looks like they're offside, the nose guard.
Dwight going to pass again. Looking down the middle, throwing it up. It has a man. Oh, nice deflection at the very end by McGonigal.
He made a good recovery on that because he was beat.
So a pass breakup by Stuart McGonigal as the Dwight receiver got behind him, but Stuart dove, and he was looking at the eyes of the receiver and just dove at the right time and was able to knock it away. Incomplete, or that could have been a touchdown for Dwight. McGonigal will get a breather for St. Bede. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Trojans.
Good call here, Bede go right after his replacement.
Yeah. Let's see, they are going to run the counter instead.
Again, a poor tackle. The first man made contact, and he didn't bring him up, and he got 9 yards when he could have been hit for no gain.
That was Evan Cox for Dwight. near a first down. They'll give him 9, as Brownie said. So 2nd down and 1, or actually 3rd and 1 coming up for Dwight. 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Big play here, 3rd and short. Maybe if you're Dwight, Brownie, maybe you throw it again here because you figure you have 2 downs.
Right, that's what I would do.
2 cracks at it here. 3rd and 1. Trojans are going to hand it off to their halfback who's got the first down. That was Aiden Collum. Needed 1, got 3 or 4 inside the 35 of St. Bede. That will be the end of this first quarter. So Dwight's up 7-0, and the Trojans are marching as we speak. We'll be back with a second quarter after this from St. Bede. It is Dwight 7, St. Bede 0. You're listening to St. Bede Bruin football and watching St. Bede Bruin football on the Star Rock Media YouTube channel and on 103.9 WLPO, presented by Grazer's Plumbing and Heating.
Are changing, pumpkin spice is back, and you're rooting on your favorite team under those Friday night lights. Hi, I'm Spencer Lukey. Whether it's time to pregame or change the lineup in your retirement strategy, let WeTech Wealth Management quarterback your financial plan. A good quarterback pays attention to details, communicates effectively, and makes adjustments during the game. If you're ready to tackle your financial future, the team at WeTech Wealth Management will help you put together a winning game plan.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.
Connexus knows a reliable internet connection isn't just about speed. It's about keeping our communities connected. Whether you work from home, stream movies on family nights, or power a small business or classroom, the Connexus fiber network is built to keep you online when it matters most. Because when your internet works every time, your community thrives. Connexus Fiber Internet, reliable, local, and here for you. Visit conxxus.com to check availability and sign up today. That's conxxus.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
On your radio, on your mobile, and your smart speaker, too. Starved Rock Local, 103.9 WLPO.
Jeremy Aiken and Mike Brown back here as we begin the second quarter of play. And Dwight starts it off with a run off right tackle. Looks like Landon Marquez with the tackle.
Quarterback keeper.
Yeah, quarterback keeper. Not much there for their quarterback, Batchand. And they give him 1, 2nd down and 9 coming up. Dwight up 7-0 over St. Bede.
St. Bede total offense so far has totaled 3 yards.
Dwight now moving east to west here at the academy. 2 backs in the backfield for the Trojans. Aiden Collum and Evan Cox. Cox is going to get it, and again he breaks the initial tackle.
They made contact again with a short gain, and then they're just not wrapping.
Brought down from behind by Gino Ferrari. So that was a gain for Evan Cox of Dwight. Gain of about 3. Third down and 6 coming up. 10:40 to go here in this first half. Crowd trying to get the St. Bede defense going here. Batchand fakes handoff, going to hand it off to the second man on a counter. Nice job by the Bruins defense. Among them staying home was Chase Riva. He was the first guy to make contact on that tackle. Not much there for the Dwight ball carrier.
Well, 4th and 4 again. He picked up a 2 for the running back.
We're now in the second quarter, and today's thrilling second quarter action is brought to you by Spring Valley City Bank. Football isn't the only winning program with a rich history in our community. Spring Valley City Bank's been helping you with all of their banking needs for 119 years. So big stop here if St. Bede can get it. 4th down and 4. Ball spotted at the Bruin 26.
You know, as anxious as St. Bede seems to be off the line, I wouldn't mind I think I'd go with a long count here.
Yeah, try to get Freebie a first down.
Yeah.
The quarterback's going to keep it, going to toss, and he's got a guy wide open. 1st down and more. Cutting inside the 10, still going, and he's going to get all the way in the end zone. Yeah, he didn't go out of bounds. 26 yards, a touchdown pass.
Is that Cox?
Evan Cox, number 10, 26 yards. Wow, looked like he was going to be pushed out of bounds and then stayed inbounds, kept going, and scores for Dwight. Cox just with a toss from Batchend, the quarterback, and Dwight converts in a big way on a 4th down, all the way into the end zone at 9:22. And the Trojans now lead 13-0 with the point after coming up. Erdi Gashi will attempt it for the Trojans. Snap is down, the hold is down, the kick is up, and let's see, no good. Yeah, the wind took that one and blew it wide left. So there's a positive. Point no good, point after touchdown, and it is 13-0 Dwight over St. Bede. 9:22 to go here in this first half of play. So Dwight converts on a big 4th down, and it was through the air. Batchin found Cox, just kind of lobbed it up over the line of scrimmage. Cox caught it, turned around, and stayed in bounds and found his way all the way into the end zone. At 9:22 of this first half. 13-0 Dwight. St. Bede, though, will get the ball back here, looking to make some hay for the first time, really, on offense today.
That was a 60-yard drive in 9 plays.
So another impressive drive for Dwight. As we await the kickoff.
Well,
back deep for St. Bede is Jose De La Torre and Stuart McGonigal.
And for the sake of the St. Bede defense, you think that you want to pick up at least the 1st down and give the defense a little bit of a rest.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Bede's had 6 snaps from center so far.
An angling kick. It's going to be taken at the 30. It's going to be returned 35. And I think it's automatically, I guess, a fair catch.
Or did he call for a fair catch, or did it roll out of bounds?
No, there's a flag.
So that means it went out of bounds, would be my guess. So that means St. Bede would take the ball at the 35 if it went out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And now I'm not exactly. I don't think the officials are. They're both talking it over. Did he try to run after the fair catch? That would push St. Bede back 15 yards.
Yeah, I guess so. He must have called for a fair catch and then ran.
That's the ball!
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really see him signal for a fair catch, but he must have.
Well, there's a lot of people around the ball.
So they'll move St. Bede back on the mark-off.
Really? I think did he just throw the flag for being out of bounds? Maybe, you know, I'm just wondering if he...
So St. Bede will start this drive at the 25. First and 10 Bruins.
That was strange. There wasn't a penalty, and then
Ferrari, the pass out in the flat, caught, 1st down, breaking tackles, and still going is Carson Riva. Carson with a 1st down catch out to about the 43, 44. Give him 19 on that play. It was Ferrari to Riva. 1st down Bruins.
And that is the first down of the game for St. Bede, coming at what, almost the 9-minute mark of the 2nd quarter.
So that's big in more ways than one. 1st and 10 St. Bede. Ferrari in the pistol. And a false start on the Bruins. So it'll bring him back 5 yards.
That sounds like Andy Pishka's a little bit upset with the offense. He's up in the box above us.
So 1st and 15 now for St. Bede, back at their own 39.
And as scarce as yards have been, that might as well be a 15-yard penalty for St. Bede. This, right now they just haven't done.
Ferrari going to pass. He has a man wide open out in the flat, caught. Tackle just inside the 50. That was Drew Carboni, and he's going to get the penalty yardage back plus some. They'll mark him down at the Dwight 49-yard line.
Got a dozen.
2nd and 3 coming up for St. Bede. Was tackled out of bounds, so the clock stops at 8:31.
This is almost a must score for St. Bede.
They're going to run the end around to McGonigal, and he is tackled for a big loss in the backfield. That was number 64, Will Anderson, and McGonigal hurt on top of it.
Looks like it lost 9 on the play.
So they ran the jet sweep with Stuart McGonigal, and he was brought down by the Dwight defender, and Stewart down on the field. We'll take a short timeout as well. Be back in about 40 seconds. We've got an injury timeout. 13-0 is the score. Dwight with the lead over St. Bede. 8:23 to go here in this second quarter.
When it comes to your money, peace of mind starts with trust. For over 120 years, Spring Valley City Bank has been a partner in building dreams. From your first home to growing your business, we're here to guide you with knowledge and care. I'm Corey Vanschak. Spring Valley City Bank doesn't just serve the community. We live here, work here, and are proud to walk beside you every step of the way. When you're ready for banking that's personal, reliable, and rooted in hometown values, call or stop by Spring Valley City Bank in Spring Valley or Peru. We're an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Tickets to the game and wherever you go. Download the free 1039 WLPO app today.
Jeremy and Brownie back here as we have an injured Bruin on the field. Clock stopping at 8:23 to go here in this second quarter. It is 13-0 Dwight over St. Bede as Stuart McGonigal got tackled on the jet sweep, and looks like they're checking on his right knee out on the field. Give us a chance to check some scores. Fighting Illini with 4 minutes to go in the third, leading Purdue 33-21. Also in the Big Ten, Michigan extending their lead 17-7 over Wisconsin.
10-point lead in a game like that is huge. This sounds like, they're just really.
And not good for the Cubs. Mentioned the Cubs got out to a 1-0 lead. The Brewers, like they've been doing all year, come back with 4 runs in the bottom of the first, still batting up 4-1. So the over looking good in the Cubs-Brewers game. And the Bruins player still down on the field at the 40. He seems to be in quite a bit of pain as he was wrestled down to the ground to the turf here at St. Bede Academy. Coach Jack Brady out on the field right now with the training staff for St. Bede.
I'm not even, I don't think I've even met the trainers this year yet. We're better than halfway through the season.
And McGonigal going to need help from teammates.
Help. Yeah, that don't look good. That could probably be a season-ending injury the way that looks.
Stewart, a junior, will be helped off the field by his Bruin teammates. So hopefully
his dad, Dave, was a really good athlete at St. Bede. Basketball and baseball.
So the Bruins will have to get back at it here. 8:23 to go in the second. They're facing a 3rd and 13 after that big loss. Ferrari in the pistol. Gino's going to drop back and pass. Looking, throwing, and comes up short of his intended receiver, Jose De La Torre. And St. Bede going to have to punt it away here.
Well, anemic is not the word for the St. Bede offense today.
Couple first downs, right? I think 2.
Yeah, they've got just one.
Just the one on
the one, yeah. Because then they picked up a good yardage on their first down play, and then the
penalty
in the round that.
Yep, tackle for a loss.
Yeah.
Talk about being behind the chains, and that's always tough. So back to punt for St. Bede is Ryan Solomon. And
be interesting. Now this is the first, he's punting, and let's see how the wind takes the ball this way. You know, I mean, the first punts, it looked like it.
He's punting west to east here.
Yeah.
Solomon gets away a solid punt, going to bounce inside the 30. It is returnable for Dwight. They're at the 25, 30, and hit by a couple Bruin defenders at about the 32. And that's where Dwight will take over. Making the tackle on the kickoff there was Weston Heersink. So Dwight will take over, already up 13-0. And they'll start this drive at about their own 33-yard line.
Give it a 31-yard punt.
And just a reminder, the Golden Bede class of 55, 60, 65, 70, 75 haven't made your way down to the east end zone.
8:08 to go here in the first half. 1st and 10 coming up for Dwight. 3 backs in the backfield. And they hand it off to the second man through. That looks like Collum. Aiden Collum with the carry. Couple yards on the play. And they mark it at about the 34.
I think the thing that you're looking at here, too, is that there's not one play so far that Dwight's ran for where they have no lost yards or no gain. It's always positive. Some are better than the other, and it's very solid. But I'm surprised at really how poor the tackling is for St. Bede today.
2nd and 8, they're going to pitch it out to Cox, and he breaks the first tackle.
Again.
And the second man brings him down, but by the time that happens, looks like Cox has a first down for Dwight. Riva will get credit with a tackle out past the 40, so that's another first down for the Trojans.
11 so far. St. Bede's got 1.
First and 10 coming up for Dwight at their own 43-yard line. Counting down about 7 minutes to go here in this first half. We're in the midst of our second quarter. Brought to you by Spring Valley City Bank. And Dwight's going to pass, throwing over the middle, up for grabs, and it's caught. He comes back for it at the 33. He's down the sideline, going to go all the way untouched. It was an underthrown pass, but the Dwight defender came back and got it. And that'll be a 57-yard touchdown pass to number 5, Joe Duffy. Well, just a bad break. It was an underthrown ball, but Duffy came back to get it. And once he did, he had some blockers and ran it all the way in from 57 yards. And kind of a shocked homecoming crowd here. That's at 6:43, and Dwight now up 3 scores, 19-0, and now they're going to go for 2 since they missed the extra point. And I think maybe this will change their mind. Look like they might have had a false start on the 2-point conversion attempt. So let's see if that changes things for Dwight or not. 19-0 Trojans over the Bruins, and they're looking to add another score here.
A 63-yard drive in 3 plays.
Definitely not their longest drive of the day, but still ends in a score for St. Bede. And looks like Dwight's still going to go ahead and try for 2 here. 6:42 to go in the Spring Valley City Bank second quarter. Taking a long time after the no play clock here.
Yeah, there is. They have to snap the ball within the 25
You would
seconds.
think so.
They do, but hey, it's a long 25.
Boy, it's kind of a moseying on out of the huddle there. They're going to pass for 2, and it's thrown, and did he have it? Did he have control of it? No, they're going to give it to him. He was kind of wrestling with the St. Bede defender that looked like number 10.
Cullum.
Number 10 is Evan Cox.
Oh, Cox.
Cox, yeah. I guess he outfought Gino Ferrari and got the 2-point conversion. So it is 21-0, Dwight. 6:43 to go in this first half. Dwight led 7-0 after 1, and they've added 2 touchdowns here in this second quarter of play.
Right now, it's just complete domination. I mean, it almost looks like the first string against the second string at a practice scrimmage right now.
Back deep for St. Bede is Jose De La Torre and Brady Bloomquist.
Well, he's taken McGonigle's spot because it's usually De La Torre and McGonigle that are back in deep in the kick formation.
So Dwight on this homecoming being inhospitable guests, leading 21-0 over St. Bede. The last 2 meetings of these 2 teams were close games. Last year was a 2-point game in Dwight, but so far the Trojans, as Brownie said, dominating this one. There's a short kickoff towards the sideline, and he did not call for a fair catch and got a yard or 2 after. Bringing that ball in did St. Bede's Carson Riva. So the Bruins will have good starting field position at their own 43-yard line. 1st and 10.
Good field position is one thing. Doing something with it is another thing.
So 1st and 10, St. Bede. They have not gotten much going on offense, to put it lightly here. Let's see if this will be the drive to get on the board. They'll get the ball to start second half, so that's a positive.
Now they have a -6 yards rushing and 31 yards passing for a net of 25 yards total offense so far.
There's Landon Marquez. He's out past the 45, maybe got to the 46.
Give him a couple probably there, it looks like.
I'll give him 3, I guess. Forward progress to the 46. 2nd and 7 coming up for St. Bede. Have not been able to really get Landon going too much. Haven't had the ball a whole lot.
That's right. I was going to say they haven't had the ball to really get a thing going.
2nd and 7. Gino Ferrari checks his wristband. He'll go from center, under center here.
That was only the 11th snap for St. Bede in the first half.
Ferrari going to hand it off. There's Landon Marquez up the middle, pushing forward.
About 5, I think.
Yeah, going to be right near midfield. Actually, that was not Marquez. That was number 25, Brennan Hurst. So it'll set up a 3rd and 3 for St. Bede. Got to think, being down 21-0, Brownie, St. Bede's looking at 2 cracks at this here.
I would think so.
They're right at midfield.
0 out of 3 on 3rd downs and 0 out of 1 on 4th down attempts so far. The offense is so far taking the day off.
And Ferrari going to keep it. Gino not going to get there.
Wow, he lost 3.
Well, they're going to give him forward progress, thankfully.
Well,
so about a half-yard gain, actually.
Yeah, about
almost to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So it'll set up a big 4th down coming up for the Bruins. 4th down and let's say a long 2 here. Under 5 minutes to play in the Spring Valley Citibank second quarter.
Try to draw them off and then punt if you don't make it.
I think they're going to go. He's going to try first, yeah, and maybe then you take a timeout or. 4th and 2 coming up. Ferrari going to go back under center. He's looking towards his head coach. And they're going to hand it off. Hurst spins.
He's short.
He's still going to be short. Yeah, he broke away from the first tackle, second effort. But still going to come up about a yard short is Hurst on the ball.
One official's pointing 1st down, isn't he? Looks like it.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, that is more than generous. That's almost the way it's going for St. Bede this game. It's like winning the lottery.
So quickly back to the huddle, and there's a handoff to Landon Marquez, and Landon gets it down to the 45. So Hurst did get the first down. From our vantage point, he looked a little short, but we'll take it. And the Bruins,
I'm glad they didn't call for a measurement.
And St. Bede almost acted like they got to the huddle right away.
Yeah.
Not that it could be reviewed or changed, but second down in case not giving the officials time to change their mind. 2nd and 8 at the 45. There's a handoff to the second man through. Not a whole lot there. It's kind of slow developing.
That was again, I believe.
A.J. Hermes, number 4 that time.
Okay,
yeah. His first carry of the day. And no gain. A.J. got back to the line of scrimmage.
I'm just wondering if they're trying to get a ground game going, because it seems like every pass that Ferrari has thrown today has sailed with the wind.
Yeah. Now he is heading a different direction now. We'll see. 3rd and 8 coming up for St. Bede. Gino going to pass, throwing over the head, off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Drew Carboni.
Well, he's been high. All his balls have been pretty much high today.
So let's see. St. Bede not showing any signs of punting here.
Well,
4th and 8.
You almost have to go for it and hope the defense can get you out of the hole and hold them for 3 minutes and some odd seconds.
They're going to call a timeout. Coach Jack Bede going to come out on the field.
This is the first timeout for St. Bede.
We'll keep it right here. Big 4th and 8 coming up for the Bruins as they trail 21-0 against the Dwight Trojans. 3:10 to go here in this first half. Broadcast both in the radio and Star Rock Media YouTube, being presented by Grazer's Plumbing and Heating. 4th and 8 coming up for St. Bede. Let's see if they do punt it or they go ahead and go for it. Down 21-0. Dwight with 1 touchdown run and 2 touchdown passes, and 2 big touchdown passes in this quarter. 1 for 26 yards and the last one for 57.
And an underthrown ball, and just really sort of like St. Bede kid tried to come back for it and he slipped, and all the guy had to do was catch it and turn around, and there wasn't anybody at all in the neighborhood to stop him.
So a big play here. Looks like St. Bede is going to go for it. Ferrari in the pistol, Marquez in the backfield.
Well, Ferrari's punted before. A quick kick here might be a call that Jack Bede came up with. We'll see. Well,
false start. Well, that may change their mind.
Yeah.
So instead of a 4th and 8, it's 4th and 13 now.
And that's the 3rd false start, which is, you'd think, 6 games into a season, that's a little bit unusual. I mean, especially when you got a veteran quarterback and a veteran defensive back, and they're going to punt now, which is probably the better part of the decision to make, because
Solomon will go back to punt inside his own 40. No real rush from Dwight as they set up a return.
He's going to let it bounce because
it's going to take kind of a Dwight bounce.
Down about the 21, I believe.
Yeah. Clock stops at exactly 3 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Spring Valley City Bank second quarter. Dwight up 21-0 over St. Bede. And the Illini pulling away a bit against Purdue. That's good to see. 40-21 now. 4th quarter. Michigan 17-7 over Wisconsin.
Well, after last week's game, until the gun sounds, I won't get too excited about it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Well, Dwight's 81 yards away. They lost the ball on downs the first time they had it, and they put together 3 straight touchdown drives. And looks like they show that they can open it up, that they can score quick, and they can drive it down the field.
Yeah.
I like the looks of this team.
Again, they were a playoff team last year. And there's a handoff, not much there. That was number 25, Collin with the carry. Marquez with the tackle. They give him 1 on that carry. Second and 9 coming up for Dwight. Dwight's quarterback gonna trot back with the play to the huddle.
Makes you wonder how good Cynic is, because what do they do? Put 50 on Dwight, I believe?
I think Seneca's pretty good. Yeah.
It seems for Cynic, they seem that they have a good regular season. They get through their first round game, and then the second round game is the one that's really tripped them up.
There's a end around and a big run for that ball carrier for Dwight. It was Tyson Walker. And he's out near the 40. So gain of about 18 on that carry. Yeah, Dwight Brownie lost to Seneca 50-17, and Marquette beat Dwight 50-19. So Dwight's coming off 2 blowout losses to 2 solid teams, Marquette and Seneca. 1st and 10 coming up for Dwight at their own 40. And they hand it off. There's Collum up the middle and gets 4, maybe 5. Again, as Mike mentioned, everything positive yardage for Dwight here in this first half. Aiden Collum with that carry, a gain of another 5. 2nd down and 5 coming up for Dwight at their own 45.
Plenty of time. They've shown that they can move the ball through the air, and they got 3 timeouts, and they're approaching the midfield stripe. So.
And I don't believe Dwight has used the timeout yet.
St. Bede used 1 unofficially.
There's
big. That could be a wow.
Nope.
That was a touchdown saving tackle right there. That was Walker again.
It looked like De La Torre with that touchdown saving tackle, Brownie, as he gets him down at about the St. Bede 42-yard line. And Dwight will go ahead and use their first timeout.
That's a 13-yard run. He's run 3 times now, and he's been over for 46 yards.
So 1st and 10 coming up for Dwight at the St. Bede 43-yard line after their 42-yard line after this timeout. 1:25 to go for Dwight. Of course, as always, be a big halftime celebration here at St. Bede, honoring some of the past classes that end in 5, right?
That's right. Might want to mention that in attendance today is the class of 75, and their quarterback Mike Stewart. And if it sounds familiar, he is a renowned surgeon at the Mayo Clinic, and he is the head surgeon for the U.S. Olympic men's hockey team.
Screen pass set up by Dwight. He's got a lot of open space, and he's got a 1st down. That is number 11, Joey Starks. So Dwight with a screen pass off that timeout, a nicely designed play. And they're going to move it all the way down to the 22.
Pick up
of
20.
St. Bede. St. Bede, or Dwight quickly out of the huddle. Clock's running, 1:10 left. And quarterback keeper, he's got a lot of running room again, and he's going to run it in for a touchdown. Untouched from 22 yards out, Colin Batchend. Dwight making it look easy. A 22-yard quarterback keeper. And the Trojans score again, this time with 1:04 to go in the second. Makes it 27-0. With the PAT coming up. He's 2 for 3 today. Actually, he's 1 for 2. He had a PAT that was good, then a failed, and they went for 2 the last time. Low snap. Kick is up and still good. So it's all Dwight here at the Academy on homecoming for St. Bede. 28-0. Dwight with the lead over St. Bede. St. Bede searching for answers here. Kind of like my Cubs, down 6-1 in the bottom of the second.
Very similar to last week's game against Marquette. St. Bede stopped Marquette on the first drive, and then in the first half, Marquette put together 4 straight touchdown drives, and the same thing has happened here. So
Bruins have a minute 4 to try to put something together here before the halftime break. Back deep for St. Bede.
79 yards and 7 plays.
Jose De La Torre and Brady Bloomquist. Probably be another short kick, however. And Carson Rivas returned the last couple kicks for St. Bede, and looks like it's heading to him again. And it is. Carson calls for a fair catch. Slides down just inside the 30.
Down at the 19-yard line of St. Bede. 1st and 10 Bruins.
So 1st and 10 St. Bede at their own 30.
Well, you wonder if they're going to try to run out the clock. Dwight still got 2 timeouts.
Yeah, does Dwight take timeouts? Yeah, I don't know. 45 seconds left. And got a brief stoppage on the field, and the officials are gathering to talk to one another. Maybe the spot, I don't know.
Well, the way the game's
telling them to put more time on the clock, I think. Minute 4. Well, that's a lot of time if they do that.
Well, the other thing is, I thought maybe they're getting together to call, see if they want to get an earlier dinner time.
Definitely a clock issue, or they're going to add some time here.
They moved it down to 45 seconds.
Yeah, they're trying to move it up from that. They're having some issues.
Yeah, here we go. Now this could be an adventure. Now we're up back at 12 minutes from, what was it, 104.
I think he was wanting 104, wasn't he, the head official? May come down to a point where they'll have to keep the time on themselves and on the field.
Do they still make automatic stopwatches?
Yeah.
Hey, I still have mine from my internship from WGN. We had the hand-operated stopwatch. We won't talk about how old that is.
That might be what they're still waiting on the scoreboard here, as fellas above us are having a little bit of tough time with the time on the clock.
Well, the head football coach is an electrician. Maybe he might want to go up and do a little repair work the way things have been going for him.
So we got a delay in the game right now, breaking the action, if you will. 28-0, Dwight with the lead over St. Bede as we're trying to get the clock changed. And there they go, minute 4, yeah, so they had 19 seconds.
Well, that seems like a lot of time there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a...
1st and 10, St. Bede. Ferrari going to pass. Gino looking, throwing, and intercepted at the 46, and let's see if he goes all the way. Dives in, does not get in. What hustle by Gino Ferrari, keeping him out of the end zone. And what would have been a 46-yard interception return, but Ferrari was hustling and knocked the Dwight defender, Asher Cargill, out at the 1. So that is an interception, the first turnover of the game. And just like that, Dwight's got a golden opportunity to score again. But gotta love the hustle by Gino Ferrari. He could have easily gave up on that. He didn't. Tackled the Dwight defender down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal at the 2 for Dwight. Patchen, their quarterback, is under center, going to hand it off, and getting in easily untouched. I mean, just no resistance. And that was Aiden Collum from 2 yards out. And Mike, now you get to the point where Dwight's thinking we running the clock here in the second half.
Yeah, one more score, because it doesn't look like the St. Bede offense is going to reignite like a Saturn V here at halftime.
So here comes the PAT to make it 35-0 Dwight. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Trojans keep pouring it on here with 49 seconds to go in this first half.
49 seconds to go.
8-1 is the score with the Brewers and Cubs.
The Alumni Association is proud to
Both the Cubs and Bruins, Mike, would like a do-over here today, it looks like.
Alumnus Award.
The Illini turning into an offensive battle, 40-27 against Purdue.
That game is kind of getting pretty close to being over, though.
10 minutes left, yeah. A lot of scoring, so taking a while. So the Bruins will get the ball back again. 49 seconds. One would think another short kickoff coming for Dwight.
That was a one-play, 2-yard drive. It's going to mess up the stats.
Yeah, not very impressive drive. Time of possession and yardage-wise.
Was it one play, 2 yards, 4 seconds?
There's a kick and a fair catch caught for by Riva again at the 43. Carson Riva.
First and 10.
So, St. Bede's last drive, an interception. It almost ended up in a touchdown, very first play. See what the Bruins have in mind here. Ferrari going to go under center, and they'll run a counter and going around left tackle. And a nice gain there by A.J. Hermes, stayed in bounds. St. Bede's going to rush to the line here, so no huddle offense. Gain of 4 for Hermes. 2nd and 6 coming up for St. Bede. And AJ's going to pass. Ferrari looking, and just throws it away as he was under pressure. Knocked out of bounds by Dwight's Will Anderson. So to be 3rd and about 6 for St. Bede. Clock stops, 16 seconds left in the first half.
And St. Bede is 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions, 0 out of 1 on 4th down conversions. And they have a total of 2 first downs in the first half.
Maybe the last play of the first half here. Ferrari under center. Gino thought about passing. Instead, he's going to run. He's going to be brought down for a loss.
Loss of 4, it looks like.
And bringing him down for a loss was Will Anderson, who's kind of having his way up front for Dwight today. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Just a dreadful second quarter if you're St. Bede. It was only 7-0 after 1, but Dwight puts up a 28 spot, 28 unanswered in that second quarter. We head to the break. It is all Dwight on homecoming against St. Bede, 35-0. Back with some first half stats after this on 103.9 WLPO. Starved Rock Media YouTube channel. Our presentation brought to you by Grazers Plumbing and Heating.
Please welcome to the field your 25-26 St. Bede cheerleaders.
When a play breaks down on the field, you've got the rest of the game to make up for it. When something breaks down at home, you need prompt professional service. That's why Town & Country Services is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure that your plumbing, heating, and cooling breakdowns are taken care of promptly and professionally. Town & Country offers free estimates and affordable rates. Their licensed professionals and friendly staff have been a staple in the Illinois Valley since 1919. Search Town & Country Services and call them anytime you have a breakdown at home.
JB Contracting is an electrical mechanical contractor and has earned a reputation around here as a first-rate contractor. After decades in our area, JB Contracting's philosophy has remained the same, to deliver quality work on time and on budget. JB Contracting is also family-owned and operated and has been a huge part of the rich history of St. Bede Academy and is proud to sponsor St. Bede football. If you're looking for an electrical or mechanical contractor, call JB Contracting. You can see more anytime at jbcontracting.com.
Country Financial's more than just an office you pass as you drive through town. They're part of your community and help support programs that help your neighborhoods thrive. They take the time to get to know their customers. They understand that every situation's unique. Their goal is to help understand yours so you can feel confident about your financial security and future. Call your local Country Financial representative, G.W. Laynod, at 664-4145 and find out how GW can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own, no matter what it looks like.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You got to hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play. That my worth isn't determined by my performance. That even on my worst day, I am worthy. That you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the IHSA and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association.
Times are tough, but our communities are tougher. We need a sheriff who won't back down from crime, drugs, or politics that put us at risk. I have the experience, the courage, and the commitment to protect our families. As sheriff, I will fight for safer streets, safer, stronger schools, and a future where our kids can grow up without fear. On Election Day, stand with law and order. Stand with Edward Yauk. I'm Edward Yauk, and I ask for your vote.
Paid for by We the People Support Yauk for Sheriff.
Let's see what's happening at Dan Chris Nursery in Streeter.
Oh, wow, Greg. The trees you brought in from the fields look great.
Thanks. I have some more arborvitae to bring in, but on this load, we have a bunch of shade trees and evergreens.
So what's on your trailer?
Mostly oaks.
Ooh, I see some white oaks. That's the Illinois state tree.
It is. There are also red maples, river birch, and some thornless honey locusts.
They look great. These bald and burlap trees have such a great start on growth, and because they're grown in our fields, they are adapted to our climate. How old are these trees?
Most of them have been in the fields for 5 to 7 years. The evergreens were planted when Killian was just 2.
Wow, they've seen a lot of our weather patterns, and in that time, they've really grown.
I'd say most of the shade trees are around 12 foot tall.
And they weigh?
Close to 400 pounds.
They've really grown a lot. As the old saying goes, the best time to plant a shade tree was 20 years ago.
And the next best time is today.
Thinking of planting a tree? Dan Chris has all shapes and sizes. Call today to see what they have in stock at Dan Chris Nursery in Streeter.
You don't want to leave your home, but what if there was a place you could maintain your independence and enjoy the comforts of home with the security of community? That place is Greenfield Retirement Home in Princeton. Hi, this is Lynn Olds, administrator at Greenfield Retirement Home. Our sheltered care services are licensed by the state of Illinois and provide 24-hour licensed nurses, homemade food, housekeeping, and more. Saying goodbye to your home is tough, but Greenfield Retirement Home can make it easier. Call 815-872-2261 to schedule a tour today. Check us out on the web at greenfieldhome.org.
This is where you go when you need to know. 1039 WLPO. Starved Rock News, Talk, and Classic Rock.
Jeremy Aiken and Mike Brown back here at St. Bede Academy. It is all Dwight at the half, 35-0. Halftime brought to you by The Locker Room. As the teams head to the locker room, you should too. For all your sports gear, go to The Locker Room online and on East St. Paul Street in downtown Spring Valley. I'm going to turn over to my partner, Mike Brown. LaSalle Body and Fender is presenting first half stats. When your car gets banged up, call LaSalle Body and Fender, and you can call them for 24-hour towing, 223-0598. Brownie, what do you got for the first half stats?
Well, if you're a St. Bede fan, it's probably pretty ugly, is the only way to say it. Dwight took the opening kickoff, and St. Bede stopped them on downs, and then they had 3 straight possessions for a score, and actually 4. They set it up by an interception, and they hold a huge 35-0 lead at St. Bede at halftime. And the offensive stats, as you might expect, really favoring the Dwight Trojans. 17 first downs, 2 out of 4 on third downs, 1 out of 2 on fourth downs. No penalties, no turnovers. They've rushed the ball 31 times for 184 yards. Passing 3 out of 6, no interceptions and 1 touchdown, 103 yards. Total offense, 287 yards. And for St. Bede, well, they have 2 first downs. They're 0 out of 5 on third downs, 0 out of 1 on fourth. They've been penalized 3 times for 15 yards. They've lost 1 turnover, and that being an interception. 4 punts for 36.0 yard average. The Bruins have rushed 13 times for 13 yards, and they're 2 out of 10 passing, 1 interception for 31 yards, for a paltry 44 yards total offense in the first half. And as you might expect, it's pretty much dominated. The Dwight Trojans are really having their way.
Yeah, 35-0 Dwight. We'll step aside. We'll come back and we'll pick Brownie's brain for a second half adjustment. Obviously, adjustments need to be made for St. Bede. 1, to avoid a running clock, and 2, try to claw back into this one. Still got a full half of football to play. You're listening to the Locker Room Halftime Show. It is 35-0 Dwight over St. Bede. Back in 4 minutes.
Generic gear that doesn't represent your true colors, it's time to take the next step with the Locker Room. Whether you're hitting the field, court, or cheering from the stands, the Locker Room is your trusted partner for all your sporting goods and custom apparel needs. Just like the pros, the Locker Room understands what it takes to showcase your identity with quality and style. From team uniforms to fan gear, they have an extensive range of products to customize your dream look. Check them out online or visit Mike and the team in Spring Valley, and now on weekends in Utica. The Locker Room. Elevate your game today.
Are you ready for a change that truly makes a difference in your financial journey? This is Jan, and it's time to switch to First State Bank. I get it. Moving your accounts can be a pain. At First State Bank, we have all the tools and support to guide you through every step, making the transition as smooth as possible. We have superior products, cutting-edge technology, and an expert team to make your life easier, just like it should be. Make the switch today. Come see your friends at any of our convenient locations or online at firststatebank.biz. Either way, welcome to First State Bank. Member FDIC.
What's your game plan this fall? Don't let your comfort get sidelined. Grazier's Plumbing and Heating is ready to tackle every heating and air problem head on. We proudly install and service Carrier heating and cooling systems known for their industry-leading performance and reliability. Call today for your fall clean and check. We'll ensure your home's comfort is a sure win all season long with a high-quality Carrier system. Call Grazier's Plumbing and Heating at 882-2111. That's 882-2111. Grazier's Plumbing and Heating and Carrier, a winning game plan.
Times are tough, but our communities are tougher. We need a sheriff who won't back down from crime, drugs, or politics that put us at risk. I have the experience, the courage, and the commitment to protect our families. As sheriff, I will fight for safer streets, safer, stronger schools, and a future where our kids can grow up without fear. On Election Day, stand with law and order. Stand with Edward Yauk. I'm Edward Yauk, and I ask for your vote.
Paid for by We the People. Support Yauk for sheriff.
It's been a lifetime of service for October's James Hardy First Responder of the Month, Lonnie Eisenberg. After 8 years in the Navy, Lonnie returned home to become a firefighter and paramedic in Mendota. 30-plus years later, Lonnie's a shift commander contemplating retirement. He says the good of making lifelong friends has outweighed the bad of having to help people through their worst possible day. Thank you for all you do, Lonnie. Enjoy a D'Amelio's Deli gift card from James Hardy. You can nominate your favorite first responder to win next month. Just go to starvedrock.media.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Illinois at highschoolofficials.com.
Are you ready to take the next step towards your future? Don't miss College and Career Night at Illinois Valley Community College Wednesday, October 8th. It is your chance to meet with more than 30 colleges and universities all in one place. Explore majors, learn about scholarships, and discover exciting career pathways. Be sure to stop by at College and Career Night on Wednesday, October 8th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. in IVCC's gymnasium. Admission is free, so bring your questions because the answers are waiting for you. Register now at ivcc.edu.
Looking for fun this weekend? From live music and local festivals to family-friendly events, you'll find it all in the Starved Rock Local Entertainment Guide at starvedrock.media. Whether you're planning a date night or a day out with the kids, your plans are covered. The Starved Rock Local Entertainment Guide is proudly sponsored by Edward Jones financial advisor Chad Gilbreth in downtown LaSalle, helping you invest in what matters most. The Starved Rock Local Entertainment Guide at Starved Rock Media, where your weekend begins.
These are a couple of great teams, but the real super groups like AC/DC, Def Leppard, and Journey play after the game. 103.9 WLPO, Starved Rock News, Talk, and Classic Rock.
Jeremy Aiken, Mike Brown, as we continue our halftime show, brought to you by the Locker Room. And time now for our second half adjustment, brought to you by Prue Waltham Mutual Insurance. Proud to support the St. Bede Bruins. Prue Waltham Mutual, supporting our local farmers and agents who care. Let's go Bruins. And for all the farmers out there, be careful this weekend. I know John Small out there as well. And Mike, this is probably a tough thing to answer. What do the Bruins do? I guess, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. And when you're down 35-0, you kind of just got to chip away. And really, you mentioned anemic offense. They got to just get themselves feeling better and maybe put a drive together, don't they?
I think that's the big thing here. Try to be positive. Try to get a couple of first downs. And then, hopefully that, he carries it over. And I know kids, they start looking ahead, and you take a look that the next game is against Seneca, and then they got to go on the road. Then they get Peoria Notre Dame, and then they have to go on the road to Decatur, St. Teresa. So, kids are realists. They know that the chances now of making the playoffs. Now, you talk about the pride, never quitting, never giving up. The thing that has impressed me, though, is that the St. Pete's making contact, but they're just not wrapping. And I think the last game that I saw, it was the same thing. They made good initial contact, but they weren't wrapping, and it cost them, and it's doing the same thing here again today. Dwight has no negative plays, and I don't know if the wind or what it is, but if you look back and look at the pass plays, St. Pete, Gino Ferrari's had a lot of guys open, but his ball has been sailing, and I don't know if that's the wind or what it is, because Dwight came out and they moved the ball well, and then they just took off. Everything they did, they're blocking well, they're hitting their assignments. Their backs, I'm impressed with all of their backs. They all run real hard, and the quarterback is using the pass very effectively after running, and he set up 2 long plays. The defense playing well. But I think if you're St. Bede, just try and get a couple of first downs. Just take a little time off the clock and just show that you can move the ball. And I think if you're Dwight, well, what do? Score.
Keep on keeping on.
That's right.
Right. Score as quick as you can.
Score as quick as you can, and let the reserves play. Yeah.
So that is our second half adjustment, brought to you by Prue Waltham Mutual Insurance. Again, you're listening to the Locker Room halftime show. It's all Dwight here, 35-0. We'll take our final break at the half. We'll go over St. Bede's homecoming activities. There's still a lot going on even after the game today. St. Bede Bruin homecoming football presented by Grazers Plumbing and Heating. 35-0 at the half, Dwight over St. Bede.
Country Financial's more than just an office you pass as you drive through town. They're part of your community and help support programs that help your neighborhoods thrive. They take the time to get to know their customers. They understand that every situation's unique. Their goal is to help understand yours so you can feel confident about your financial security and future. Call your local Country Financial representative, G.W. Laynod, at 664-4145 and find out how GW can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own, no matter what it looks like.
JB Contracting is an electrical mechanical contractor and has earned a reputation around here as a first-rate contractor. After decades in our area, JB Contracting's philosophy has remained the same: to deliver quality work on time and on budget. JB Contracting is also family-owned and operated and has been a huge part of the rich history of St. Bede Academy and is proud to sponsor St. Bede football. If you're looking for an electrical or mechanical contractor, call JB Contracting. You can see more anytime at jbcontracting.com.
In school sports, it's easy to see the wins, the moments that make headlines. But there's so much work that goes unseen for any of it to happen. My name is Phil Risen, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Throughout the country, athletic administrators dedicate countless hours to making life-changing opportunities possible for student athletes through sports. Their sacrifice is fueled by the belief that every student can grow and deserves their time to shine. On behalf of the NIAAA, we want to thank every athletic administrator for your tireless dedication to providing 7.8 million students across the country a path to a better future.
This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You can get pretty banged up playing football if you're not careful, and sometimes, no matter how careful you are, your car gets banged up due to an accident. If you've had an accident, LaSalle Body and Fender will help you score the best deal in auto body, fender, collision, and dent repair. LaSalle Body and Fender's been in the Illinois Valley providing excellent auto repair for 3 generations, and they work with all insurance companies. When your car gets banged up, call LaSalle Body and Fender, and you can call them for 24-hour towing, 223-0598.
We have great news to share for our Coronet, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram customers in Starved Rock Country. Even though the Coronet location has closed in Peru, we're happy to invite you to Sierra, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, your full-service Chrysler dealership just 17 miles to the east in Ottawa. Many of the same friendly faces you've seen for years are now at Sierra. To make it even easier, we're offering a free pickup and delivery service for your service and parts needs, including free loaner cars. From simple maintenance like tires and batteries to major repairs, we can help. If you'd like to visit us, you'll find helpful people and a great selection of new and used vehicles, including a large inventory of new Volkswagen and Mazdas with our exclusive 100,000-mile warranty. So give us a call at 815-648-0574 or easily schedule online at BillWalsh.com, Sierra Motor Mall, and BillWalsh.com, where satisfaction means more.
Some limits apply. See dealer for details.
40% off windows, 2-for-1 windows, free labor on windows, or my personal favorite, $500 off each window. Hi, I'm Brian Hopkins, local owner of Window World of Joliet. We know these prices can only be offered when they're inflated to begin with, and you know it too. Window World of Joliet offers high-quality windows and doors and no gimmicks. Expect an honest, clear price in one brief visit. Give us a call today at 815-729-3100 for a free in-home estimate.
The Edgewater Public Library had 3 MAGA guys standing outside the Edgewater Public Library protesting a drag story hour that was going to happen in the next week or something. 250 people showed up and shouted them down. Now, if you know anything about Edgewater,
it's pretty much Sesame Street on a grand scale.
Right. Can you tell me how to get...
You should see Mr. Snuffleupagus up there.
Rod and Tom on 103.9 WLPO. From Princeton to Ottawa,
Mendota to Streeter,
and everywhere in between, it's Starved Rock Local, 103.9 WLPO.
Jeremy Aiken, Mike Brown here at St. Bede Academy at the half as the teams begin to return to the field. 35-0 Dwight over St. Bede, and of course the homecoming football game just a part of the St. Bede homecoming weekend. After the game today, it'll be the Bruins Jam here on the campus of St. Bede Academy. Then tomorrow morning at 10 will be the alumni mass and induction of the Golden Bedens, class of 75. Then at around 11:15 tomorrow is an alumni brunch honoring distinguished alumnus awardee. And then tomorrow night, the St. Bede Academy student homecoming dance is 7 to 9. So still a lot to go on. It all started back on Tuesday afternoon with a pep rally. They had the Powder Puff football game Wednesday night, the parade yesterday, student variety show last night was class reunion gatherings. So Always a fun week as they celebrate all alumni, and especially classes ending not only in 5, but also classes that end in 0 this year for St. Bede Academy. So a lot of fun. I know the football game hasn't been much fun here, but it is Dwight 35-0 over the Bruins as we look to begin the second half of play and wrap up our locker room halftime show. As Brownie mentioned, it doesn't get any easier for St. Bede after this, as next week they'll go and play Seneca at Seneca. Then they'll be home in week 8 against Peoria Notre Dame and wrap up their year on the road, a road trip to say the least, to take on Decatur St. Teresa. And Dwight, who just got off arguably the toughest stretch of their schedule with Seneca and Marquette back-to-back, will have another road game, another Saturday game next week at Melrose Park. Walter Christian, and they're home against Warrensburg-Latham and home against Oregon. So really, if you're looking at Dwight, Brownie, get this one. They're 3-3, a very winnable game next week with Walter Christian. You just got to win one of two between Oregon and Warrensburg-Latham, and both being at home.
Yeah, and then you hope that the points go your way, that they get you in at 5-4, because that's. I think they'd rather go 6-3.
Sure.
Obviously.
Win out and have that momentum going into the postseason.
Well, I just want to say, Jerry, if I can sneak out of town on Burgoo weekend next Saturday, that the St. Bede football team is having a pork sandwich fundraiser here at St. Bede, a drive-through or here in Need, and if Grandma Ferrari is the one making the pulled pork, I think it's well worth the risk of trying to fight through all the suburban traffic that'll be in Utica tomorrow night to get down here for that, and that comes from experience.
Well, very good, very good. So we'll see.
But anyhow,
it's hard to believe Burgoo is right around the corner.
I know, and it seems like it's a long way away, and all of a sudden you look at the calendar and here it is, and it's Thanksgiving, only 6 weeks away. I mean, it's
a lot of the surprise has to be the fact that the weather hasn't changed
I know
yet.
it. I mean, you think it's still the middle of August. I mean, this is.
Yeah, we started late August, week 1, and I would say this is just as warm, maybe warmer than it was week 1 of this season.
Yeah. I mean, at home I try to keep the furnace off until August 1st. Now I'm thinking, man, can I turn my air conditioner off? I imagine Flash likes it when he turns air conditioning on.
Yes, he's in no hurry to turn the AC off. I'm more in a hurry to turn it off than he is.
He doesn't pay the bills.
That is true. Yeah, he's not. He's not a warm weather dog, to say the least. I was able to take him for a stroll. I don't say the W word because he knows that word. So dog owners know you don't say W-A-L-K. You can spell it out, Mike.
Or say ride.
Yes, he knows that 4-letter word too.
That's right.
Yes. So they're pretty smart. Pretty smart. So
my mom, God rest her soul, used to have a saying. She says, "Whoever came up with the saying "dumb animals" ought to be pretty dumb themselves."
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing.
So 35-0 as we're ready to start this second half. We wrap up the locker room halftime show. Jeremy Aiken, Mike Brown on the call, Mike Sabatini on the camera for Star Rock Media. Again, today's homecoming broadcast is presented by Grazer's Plumbing and Heating. As we begin the second half, kickoff brought to you by Illinois Valley Credit Union. And we're hoping to get a Bruin touchdown. If we do, well, it'll be brought to you by SITK Kitchen and Bath. And Red Zone sponsor today is Liz Bishop. Friends of Liz Bishop. Liz running for office next year. Of course, currently a clerk in LaSalle. So we're underway, and St. Bede's going to have good starting field position as it was returned close to the 50. With the return for the Bruins was number 1, Jose De La Torre.
De La Torre has got very good quickness. Well, we'll see. This is the best field position for St. Bede all day.
35-0. Let's see if the Bruins can just erase that first half and start from scratch. See if they can put up 35 points and a half just as easy as Dwight. Dwight's given up a lot of points this year.
Well, there are lights, so we could have, if you have to go to overtime.
Yes. And Ferrari's going to hand it off to the second man through. And with the carry was number 2, Carson Riva. Whistles blow, and Carson's going to get forward progress up to the 46. Nice gain on first down.
Yeah, you got about 6 there.
Yep.
First carry of the day for Carson.
St. B going to go no huddle, try something different here.
Del Torre.
And a handoff to Vasquez.
Marquez. Was that Marquez?
Or Marquez, yeah, Marquez. And Landon's close to a first down. Let's see. He got at least 3, and they're going to say first down. So nice run by Landon Marquez. So St. Bede comes out of the break with 2 nice runs.
Oh.
And it'll be 1st and 10 Bruins. Uh-oh, Landon Marquez shaken up. He's going to trot off the field.
Of course, he goes both ways. He might just need a blow.
Yeah. They'll hand it off. They go left tackle. That was Brennan Hurst. And Brennan plows ahead down about the 39. Another positive gain of 3, maybe 4 yards.
Wonder if Dwight has got a lot of subs in there already. They very may well be, because that first group they were in the backfield licking their chops in the first half.
2nd and 6 for St. Bede. Ferrari under center. 10:35 to go here in this third quarter. Hermes goes in motion. Oh, I think they had a mishap. Ferrari's going to keep it. And Gino's got a first down and more down the Dwight sideline. So it was a busted play, and it turned into a nice gain. A run by Gino Ferrari. He gets down inside the Dwight 25-yard line.
Let's see.
Best drive of the day so far for St. Bede, as far as
21 yards for Gino on the play.
Moving down the field. And they go no huddle and hand it off to the second man through. And that was A.J. Hermes.
Hermes on the carry.
And more positive yardage, about 2, maybe 3 yards on that carry.
Second down and 8.
2nd and 8 for St. Bede at the Dwight 22-yard line. 2 minutes into this third quarter, 35-0 Dwight.
Now, if you're Jack Bede, you're wondering, where was this in the first half? And the defensive coordinator for Dwight saying, well, what's going on here?
They go right back up the middle. Landon Marquez moving the pile forward. Or maybe not. Looks like it was actually Riva. Yeah, Carson Riva moving that pile, number 2. And it's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I would say that they're in 4-down territory.
Yep. Again, no huddle and no handed back off. There's Landon Marquez, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and about 1. So for the first time today, the Cavaliers are in the St. Bede Red Zone, sponsored by Liz Bishop. Liz sends her best wishes to all St. Bede students this season. Study hard, play hard, and know that your community supports you.
St. Bede is 0 for 1 on 4th down and 0 out of 6 on 3rd down conversions.
And Dwight going to take a timeout as, their defense is getting pushed around a little bit here. So they will take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 4th down and I guess a long 2, short 3 coming up for St. Bede. 9:06 to go in this third quarter of play.
I think the hardest thing with kids, people really realize, well, they're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and they know what the score is. They're probably laughing around, looking around, and thinking, well, we're gonna get up to 40 points here. The clock's going to run, and took a little lackadaisical attitude. I mean, it's just human nature, and I think that it's a good first down, not only to round off, but just remind them, hey, we scored 35 points in the first half. Don't think they're not capable of coming back and doing the thing.
Yeah, I mentioned the last 2 games, Dwight's given up 50 points in both games, so their defense is pitching the shutout so far, but they've got plenty of holes on defense. This is a big play here for St. Bede. 4th and 3 as they're in the Liz Bishop red zone at the 17 of Dwight. Ferrari under center on this 4th and 3. Gino.
They bumped into somebody.
He tripped and fell down. Yeah, that play was kind of.
He bumped into. Marcos jumped into him, and now somebody just fell on the pile. I mean, that was a.
Well, frustration for St. Bede. No flags are thrown.
Well, it doesn't seem to bother Jack Brady too much. I think it's like, oh, wait, no, I thought that's not a flag. I thought I saw a flag, but I didn't. So Gino loses one, and St. Bede loses the ball on downs.
So a turnover on downs for the Bruins. And Dwight, 1st and 10 at their own 18. If Dwight is able to get the next score, then the clock will start running the rest of the way. And they're going to hand it off on the right side, and here we go. He's down the sideline, gets a block. Ferrari is blocked. Oh, through the flag. That was a clean block.
I thought so, too.
Wow, they're going to call him for blocking the back?
Or, you know, he didn't have his hands extended. I just wonder, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting call here because I thought from our angle it was a great block. Let's see what happens here.
So, still a positive run if you're
now the sticks are
pick it up. Yeah, I guess they're going to pick up the flag.
Well, I think that's a good call.
Oh, sideline warning. Okay, so
But that was a good call. I mean, picking the flag. Well, we thought it was maybe for an illegal block, but it was no illegal block.
Aiden Collum with that big run.
43-yard run.
Wow. And just like that, Dwight down at the 38 of St. Bede.
And that puts him over 100 yards now, 102 yards for the game.
1st and 10, Dwight, and whistles blow. So the back official, maybe, is there 12 men on the field? St. Bede might have had 12 guys. When it rains, it pours.
That's what I was say. That's just the way things have been. 5-yard penalty against the Bruins, and that's a rare flag.
Yeah, been a pretty clear. There was some false starts here and there, I guess, in the first half. But
St. Bede penalized now 4 times for 20 yards. Dwight has not picked up a penalty. Yeah, good clean game. Well, corner job. He gets a block here.
It's Cox around the corner, and he runs into Landon Marquez. Cox did get the first down, though, before Marquez stopped his forward progress. So, again, Dwight, if they get a touchdown here, it is a running clock the rest of the way as they turned St. Bede away on offense. St. Bede had a good drive. They got inside the Liz Bishop red zone.
Well, let's see. Picked up about 8 on that play. Was that Cullum or Walk? I can see who that was.
That was Cox that time.
Cox, okay. Cox and Collins pickup of 8. And he's got 76 yards rushing now for the game.
And there's a handoff. That one was Tyson Walker for Dwight. Delatorre with the tackle. There is a flag, though, back behind the play. We'll see if it's a hold on Dwight or not, although they're pointing towards St. Bede.
Hold or a false start, I wonder. Where that,
yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
They call it a horse collar on St. Bede. It's on the Bruins, I think. Personal foul. Oh, boy. So that's going to move him even deeper into the Liz Bishop red zone here.
That'll move him down to about the 11-yard line. It's technically a 12-yard penalty. It'll be a first down by penalty.
Ball's going to be spotted down at the 8-yard line.
Actually, they're going to say inside the 10, Brownie. Yeah, at the 8.
All right.
So 1st and goal for Dwight at the 8. First and goal for Dwight. They're looking for the knockout blow here. I mean, I guess you could argue they already had one, but this would make the clock run the rest of the game and really make a comeback. And they're going to pass it in, try to get it in, throwing up the grabs. And he got it, and they're going to say his feet were in. Wow.
Yeah.
Dwight doing everything right today as Joey Starks tiptoed the back of the end zone there. And quarterback found him from 8 yards out. And Dwight continues to roll on the ground and through the air. It doesn't matter. Having their way today against the Bruins. From 8 yards. And the clock will now roll the rest of the way. The PAT is up, and it is no good. Wide left. Second kick, point after kick they've missed today. So that comes at 6:42 of this third quarter. So the rest of this game is going to go by quick. Let's take a timeout. 41-0 Dwight. Back after this. St. Bede Bruin homecoming football on 103.9 WLPO.
The Mutual Insurance specializes in farm and home insurance with agents that care about you and quality service. Call 815-223-4414. That's 815-223-4414. Or stop in at 1724 Peoria Street in Peru. Peru Waltham Mutual Insurance, happy to support farmers and football with quality you can trust. Protect your home and equipment with Waltham Mutual Insurance. Proud to support the St. Bede Bruins tonight. Let's go Bruins!
What's your game plan this fall? Don't let your comfort get sidelined. Grazer's Plumbing and Heating is ready to tackle every heating and air problem head on. We proudly install and service Carrier heating and cooling systems known for their industry-leading performance and reliability. Call today for your fall clean and check. We'll ensure your home's comfort is a sure win all season long with a high-quality Carrier system. Call Grazer's Plumbing and Heating at 882-2111. That's 882-2111. Grazer's Plumbing and Heating and Carrier, a winning game plan.
An Illinois Valley tradition for sports continues on 103.9 WLPO. Starved Rock News, Talk, and Classic Rock.
Start at about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, De La Torre with the kick return, and pretty good return for De La Torre. And as St. Bede will have a good starting field position again at about their own 47, maybe 48-yard line. Clock's running. 41-0 St. Bede trailing Dwight. Knew this was going to be a tough game, but I don't think many of us thought it'd be this big of a difference. Both teams coming in 2-3.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit more competitive, I think, honestly. But, you know, it's been a...
You look at, common opponents. Both were beaten pretty handily by Marquette.
Is there being a walk-off against it? No, I say they're readjusting the ball. It looks like they moved it up to the 48 or 49. I will call it the 48-yard line. Looks like they moved it up a yard.
And they pitch it, and he fumbles it. The ball's still on the turf, and it's picked up by Dwight, and they're going to go all the way.
Maybe not.
Yep. About a 43-yard punt return on the fumble. That was number 25, Aiden Cullum. He's done enough damage on offense. And he returns a punt, 43-yard, or a fumble return on the pitch play. And the clock will stop because of a score.
Well, think they'll go for two?
Nope, going for one.
Was that Cullum, you said?
Yeah, it was 25. Cullum picked it up and ran it to the house. Credit Gino Ferrari for hustling, and he dove for him, tried to get him, and just couldn't get the shoestring tackle. Kick is up, and it is good. So Dwight adds the point after. (48-0) Dwight over St. Bede.
You know, there is one stat that the team generally leads in a football game. That's kickoff return yards.
Yeah. Yes, St. Bede's returned a lot of kicks in this one. They've only kicked off once, and that was the opening kickoff after they won the WeTech Wealth Management coin toss. (48-0). Dwight over St. Bede. Once this ball gets kicked, the clock will start running and not stop until there's potentially another score or timeout. Hopefully no injuries, of course. Wynn briefly knocks the ball off the tee. Oop. Kicker started, one stopped, one back. And it'll be taken by De La Torre. He's got nobody down there. And De La Torre at the 40, 35, breaks another tackle, 30, cuts inside, 25, and no flags. That was weird, Mike. There was nobody.
It was nobody on that side of the field.
Yeah, on the St. Bede sideline, and De La Torre took advantage and ran it all the way down. And the Bruins will start this drive inside the Liz Bishop red zone at about the 17. Wow.
Wonder if that was the second team.
I don't know. It was weird from the beginning because the kicker hesitated. He went up, stopped, and then kicked it. So I don't know if that threw his whole team out of whack to begin with. So here we go. St. Bede tried to take advantage of this and get on the board. 1st and 10 at the Dwight 17. Ferrari under center. Gino going to hand it off. Out of the backfield, still turning those legs is Carson Riva. And Carson's going to get it down about the 15. Actually, they'll mark it inside the 15, about the 13. Give him 4 yards on that carry. 2nd and 6 for the Bruins. Under center is Ferrari. And hand it off to Landon Marquez, and Landon's hit. Falls forward for a couple of yards. Collum with the tackle for Dwight. 3rd and 2 coming up, so gain of another 3 or 4 yards. Ball spotted at the Dwight 9-yard line.
If they don't make it, I think they might try a field goal to try and get on the board.
Yeah, maybe.
You never can tell because, the more you can practice that in live action, not going to make much of a difference, but
Ferrari under center going to hand it off and heading towards the end zone, bouncing off a tackle, still going. Oh, there's a late flag. What do we got? He got into the end zone, I thought. Carson Riva. Carson's wondering what's going on.
Face mask, maybe? Face mask or a hole, that's where that flag is.
Yeah, it's a touchdown because it was a face mask. And now the officials are talking. Face mask, so they'll decline that.
Well, or they call it on an offensive lineman for reaching out and grabbing the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask. Okay, yeah.
8-yard line.
Carson Riva from 9 yards. It's kind of an odd.
Well, it was really funny the way that was thrown. It was like thrown right into the pack.
And that comes at 2:39
of the 3rd quarter.
And they go for 2 and do not get it. Landon Marquez does not get it, but happy to report St. Bede Bruins get their first touchdown of the day. And that Bruin touchdown was brought to you by SITK Kitchen and Bath. Let the winning team at SITK Kitchen and Bath score a winning design for you. Imagine together with SITK Kitchen and Bath. So 2:39 to go in the 3rd. The Bruins are on the board in this homecoming game, 48-6.
Show how hard things have been for St. Bede. They got the ball at the Dwight 17, and they took them 4 plays to score. 4 plays, 17-yard drive.
But you were able to get it in on the 9-yard run by Carson Riva.
Had the pleasure of sitting with him and Gino Ferrari at breakfast this morning, and A.J. Hermes, the tri-captains for the for the 24, 25 St. Bede Bruins, and Carson has carried more today than I think he has all year, and he's a hard runner, but he's more used as a wide receiver. He's deceivingly quick. He's not real fast, and there's a difference. He can generally get a couple of steps. He has a knack for getting open and good leaping ability. And I don't think we'll see an onside kick.
Well, we'll see. But definitely first time today it's gotten, during the game at least, gotten Bruins faithful up and clapping, and they do kind of an onside kick, and a nice play by the one of the Dwight players who was able to fall on it. And they'll keep possession. That was Joey Starks who caught the last touchdown.
Looks like it'll take over at their own 49.
So good field position for Dwight. 1st and 10 at their own 49.
Field position hasn't much matter for Dwight today.
No.
I mean, they've just been... Yeah, right.
And looking at Dwight, Brownie, you know, they don't have a whole lot of numbers.
Right, and
they only have a little more than 20 kids, so there's not really much they can do as far as bringing in reserves.
And not only that, you got, and you know, at this time of the year, kids like to play. I mean, you know, you're not going to give a kid a ball and tell him, oh, here, just fall on it.
Column with the run, and he was tackled by Riva.
Riva's had a heck of a good game today. I mean, he's
I would think, Mike, that Carson Riva would definitely be in line for our Bruin player of the game. He's got the 1 touchdown, and as Mike mentioned, he's had a nice game running the ball, and they're on defense as well.
Yeah, he's been around the ball a lot. Grandpa Louie, who was in my class, would be very happy to see how his grandson is playing today. Louie was a fullback.
And speaking of fullbacks, they hand it to their fullback, does Dwight, right up the middle. And nice job by Landon Marquez for St. Bede. Also near the tackle was Heersink.
And that had to be
maybe
Cox.
a yard on that gain. That was
Cox, or
I think that was number 4, Caden Wood, a new carrier.
Oh, new, okay.
Yep.
Snuck in.
Got back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
They've had very few third downs.
Yeah.
I think
that first drive, remember they had a 4th down conversion.
Right. This is only their 5th third down attempt of the day.
And they're going to pass. He's looking deep, throwing it up for grabs, and incomplete. And goes incomplete. Nice coverage by Delatorre as he was battling with Tyson Walker.
You know, when a defender doesn't turn around, you just hold your breath for a quick second because you think, you know the flag is going to come out.
Yep.
But,
maybe that was a case where if the game wasn't 48-6, they may have thrown the flag there.
That may have been one of those.
So that's going to do it for our 3rd quarter of play, as we're going to move this game along pretty fast with a running clock. We've played 3 from St. Bede Academy on homecoming. It is Dwight 48, St. Bede 6. Back with the 4th and final quarter after this on 103.9 WLPO and the Starved Rock Media YouTube channel.
Times are tough, but our communities are tougher. We need a sheriff who won't back down from crime, drugs, or politics that put us at risk. I have the experience, the courage, and the commitment to protect our families. As sheriff, I will fight for safer streets, safer, stronger schools, and a future where our kids can grow up without fear. On Election Day, stand with law and order. Stand with Edward Yauk. I'm Edward Yauk, and I ask for your vote.
Paid for by We the People Support Yauk for Sheriff.
Not all local is created equal. This is Starved Rock Local, 103.9 WLPO.
We are indeed Starved Rock Local here on 103.9 WLPO. Jeremy Aiken, Mike Brown from St. Bede Academy as we start this 4th quarter of play. They're going to have to change the time again, Brian. It's at 1:03. It's very, very random at 1 minute and 3 seconds as the head official saw it.
Yeah. Oh, this could be interesting.
There we go. They got
Looks like we got a lineman that it's the punter here. Punting for the first time. Obviously, punting for the first time in the game for
Evan Olson, number 67. Yeah. Don't see punters wearing numbers in the 60s too often.
Because you're afraid those big linemen can't catch a ball.
Got more height than length. And it'll settle down at about the 30-yard line. Well, they'll mark it at the 31 as St. Bede did not have anybody back. So 1st and 10 Bruins as the clock will continue to roll.
19-yard punt.
Coming up on the 3 o'clock hour here on 103.9 FM, 1220 AM, WLPO, LaSalle, Peru, Oglesby.
And the Bruins will take over on their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, they'll mark it about 31, 30-yard line for St. Bede. 1st and 10.
Potato or potato, huh?
Gino's going to keep it and gets a block, springs it outside, 35, 40. And Ferrari gets it out past the 45-yard line. Nice run by Gino Ferrari.
13 yards.
So despite being tackled out of bounds, of course, clock will continue to roll. They mark it at the 43. St. Bede no huddle. This was a 7-0 game after one, but Dwight put up 28 unanswered in the second quarter.
Eerily similar to the game against Marquette, where St. Bede stopped them on the first drive and then gave up 4 straight scores.
Landon Marquez with the carry, and Landon going to get a breather after that. As Brownie mentioned, Landon, one of the Bruins who plays both ways on this warm, humid afternoon. And Landon got about 4 yards, almost 5 on that carry. They spotted at the St. Bede 48. Hand off up the middle. Big guys still pushing each other. And
very close to a first down.
That carry was for St. Bede. It was Brennan Hurst.
Wow, I thought he got a little more. Oh no, I was looking at the other guy that got down. So it's 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, they spotted at the Dwight 48. And Dwight had a player getting off the field, and I'm sure they didn't want to do this, but they called a timeout. We'll take one as well. It is 48-6. Dwight over St. Bede, back in 2 minutes.
Country Financial's more than just an office you pass as you drive through town. They're part of your community and help support programs that help your neighborhoods thrive. They take the time to get to know their customers. They understand that every situation's unique. Their goal is to help understand yours so you can feel confident about your financial security and future. Call your local Country Financial representative, G.W. Laynod, at 664-4145 and find out how GW can help ensure the future you're dreaming of is something you can proudly own, no matter what it looks like.
This is Liz Bishop, wishing everyone in the St. Bede High School community a fantastic school year. To our students, we're proud of your hard work in the classroom. Keep it up. To our athletes, stay focused, train well, and play hard. To our community, our students represent our future, and their efforts on and off the field deserve our encouragement. Your support matters. Please show up and cheer them on loudly. This is Liz Bishop, wishing the St. Bede Bruins good luck in today's homecoming game.
JB Contracting is an electrical mechanical contractor and has earned a reputation around here as a first-rate contractor. After decades in our area, JB Contracting's philosophy has remained the same: to deliver quality work on time and on budget. JB Contracting is also family-owned and operated and has been a huge part of the rich history of St. Bede Academy and is proud to sponsor St. Bede football. If you're looking for an electrical or mechanical contractor, call JB Contracting. You can see more anytime at jbcontracting.com.
Vlasnik's Menswear is proud to suit up with the St. Bede Bruins. On the field, it's about teamwork. Off the field, it's about looking sharp. From rugged workwear built for the job site to formal wear made for life's big wins, Vlasnik's has your game plan covered. Don't fumble on your next outfit. Score the right look at Vlasnik's Menswear, 1809 4th Street in downtown Peru. Vlasnik's Menswear, your winning choice. Go Bruins!
Listen on FM 1039, AM 1220 with the free WLPO app, or ask your smart speaker to play 1039 WLPO. Starved Rock News, Talk, and Classic Rock.
43 to
Jeremy Aiken, Mike Brown back. Hurst with about a 5-yard run, and Gino Ferrari with a quarterback keeper down the Dwight sideline. And Gino's got a first down as he was pushed out of bounds.
Picked up 12 yards of the first down.
Yeah, just shy of the 30. They'll mark it at the Dwight 31, so a nice first down run by Ferrari. Now they're going to run the jet sweep to Delatorre, who turns it inside, breaks a couple tackles. And Delatorre brought down at around the 25, so give him at least 6 yards. Jose Delatorre on the carry.
You know, not only is he fast, but he's deceivingly strong for his size. He generally doesn't go down on the first one. I mean, even though the St. Bede offense hasn't done a whole lot.
2nd down and 4 coming up for the Bruins. We're under 8 minutes to go in this ball game as we're going to go right through the Spring Valley City Bank fourth quarter, breeze right through it here. Hand off to Hurst, off left tackle, was tripped up. He had a nice hole But he did get the first down despite being tripped up, so they'll mark Hurst down at the 20. So the Bruins return to the Liz Bishop red zone. Friends of Liz Bishop red zone here. 1st and 10, St. Bede. Whoops, sorry, Brownie. Wind blowing papers around. And there's Hurst again, and he's hunting for the end zone. He's not going to get there, but Hurst gets another big run, a first down carry. Move the chains for Brennan Hurst. And it'll be 1st and goal for St. Bede as they move deeper in the Friends of Liz Bishop red zone. Of course, replays on our Starvock Media YouTube broadcast, brought to you by your local Edward Jones agent, Derek Brayton. Let Derek take another look into your investments today. 1st and goal, St. Bede at the Dwight 9-yard line. They're going to hand it off up the middle, and a whole bunch of players there to make the tackle.
Looks like Hurst again. They probably got one, maybe.
So it'll be 2nd down and goal now for the Bruins. Closing in halfway through this 4th quarter. Just past the 3 o'clock hour. 48-6 Dwight. Ferrari gonna fake the handoff. He's rolling left. Gino gonna tuck it and run. Puts his head down and gets into the end zone. That's a 7-yard touchdown run for Ferrari. So nice effort there by Gino Ferrari. And St. Bede for the 2nd time today with a touchdown. This one a 7-yard run by Gino Ferrari at 6:15. And they're going to go for 2, and in for the 2-point conversion for the Bruins is Carson Riva. It's good. So it's 48-14 now. Bruins have gotten on the board twice here in the 2nd half. And of course that St. Bede touchdown was brought to you by SITK Kitchen and Bath. Let the winning team at SITK Kitchen and Bath score a winning design for you. Imagine together with SITK Kitchen and Bath. That extra point, by the way, brought to you by Tom Kammerer for Sheriff. With over 30 years of law enforcement experience and a proven record of leadership and community service, Tom Kammerer is ready to serve Bureau County with integrity and dedication. Tom will always go the extra mile for you. Tom Kammerer for Sheriff, bringing you that 2-point conversion from Carson Riva.
And that was a 10-play, 69-yard drive for the Bruins.
So we'll see if St. Bede squibs one here. 48-14 is the score. Ryan Solomon to kick.
Had a nice conversation with him. He was volunteering some hours for the Utica Knights of Columbus at the Tootsie Roll Drive. And, well, that was a nice play by the guy. He caught the ball in the air, and he's running the ball back.
That was Collum. He's been a force for Dwight. Yeah, it took a high hop and was kind of up for grabs, and Collum went up and got it and kept possession on Dwight's side. So they'll take it 1st and 10 at the St. Bede 44 as the clock rolls under 6 minutes.
And he not only is a gifted kicker, and he's been to some kicking camps, but he plays soccer real well. And I asked him if he was going to play in college. He says, I'm not going to play anything. He says, I just want to study hard and get a good job.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, it was sort of refreshing, you know, because the kid looks like he might have a chance to, very intelligent type of an answer, I thought, and thoughtful with it.
1st and 10, Dwight at the 45 of St. Bede. (48-14) is the score. Dwight taking all the time here.
You know, I'm just wondering if they even have a second team offense.
Yeah,
like
they don't.
You mentioned the short bench, and
Yeah,
and you know, you can't tell a kid to, you know, take a knee, you know, when he gets the ball. I mean, it's.
And this has been really their only backup running back. They did hand it off to a new running back, number 4, Caden Wood. So he is getting.
Yeah, he's playing time. He got about 6. Yeah, 7.
Yep, 7-yard gain on that carry. Counting down about 4.5 minutes to play in this ball game. All Dwight, unfortunately, at the St. Bede homecoming, 48-14. Dwight out of the huddle. And they'll hand it off again to number 4, Wood. He's got a first down inside the 35, down about the 33. Marquez with the tackle.
8-yard run.
Slide down to 32, and that's the first down, Dwight.
First down for the Trojans.
3:54 to go in the.
So after a close game last year in Dwight, the Trojans came in and took control in that second quarter and haven't looked back as they are leading 48-14 over St. Bede. St. Bede was held scoreless until 2:39 to go in the third quarter.
I'm a little surprised that from what we're seeing here today that they've given up so many points. Not against Seneca, but I was surprised at some of the other games that they've given up a lot of points on.
Yeah, it's been multiple games, Brownie, after this play. We'll dissect that again. There's Wood up the middle for Dwight. But, yeah, they gave up 50 to Seneca, 50 to Marquette, and 51 to Shelbyville. So
Well, Shelbyville doesn't surprise me that much because they have a good athletic program. They're sort of like tucked away down there in Southern Illinois, and a lot of people just sort of overlook them, and they have a very good athletic tradition.
Second down and about 6 coming up for Dwight.
You know, people forget that Illinois is a pretty big state.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And the useless trivia fact is that the northernmost part of Illinois is further north than Buffalo, New York, and the southernmost part of Illinois is further south than I think it's Norfolk, Virginia.
I don't think that's useless at all, Brownie. Here's a pitch play for Dwight, and that's another different ball carrier. That was number 7, Dalton DeLong. Going to be stopped just short of a first down. Out there in front of our own Bob Mullane, who's working the sticks today on the chain gang. With his shades on. Bob, like me, a diehard Cub fan, so go get him on game 2, I guess. Third down and 1 coming up for Dwight as they take their time getting to the line. In fact, they're going to go back in the huddle. Probably only a couple more plays in this one here.
Maybe they want to get a delay so they can just stay on the field for the final play.
Victory formation, yeah. Well, if they get a first down here, they'll just go in victory formation for sure. And they do get that first down.
Is that DeLong again?
DeLong, yep. De La Torre out there making a tackle for St. Bede. Also in the area was Brody Burris. So Dwight at this point can take get in the victory formation and move to 3-3 on the year. Gotta believe that's what they're doing here. We're down to a minute to go. 48-14 Dwight. That should be the final score.
They'll need to snap it at least twice.
Yeah.
Either that or take a. I don't think they'll take a. Well, you can't take a 5. You know what? Do you have to get the ball snapped here? I guess they're going to have to snap it. You can't sit there when the running clock and just take the.
There you go. There's a knee. Both sides may just say, okay, yep. I think the head official's like, nah, that's okay. So gentleman's agreement there. That's going to be it. So Dwight comes in and wins on the St. Bede homecoming this year. 48-14, the final score. So the Trojans improved to 3-3. St. Bede falls to 2-4. And they'll be back in action next week against Seneca. That'll wrap up our Spring Valley City Bank fourth quarter of action. step aside and come back with some post-game thoughts, some stats. We'll also pick a player of the game and drive of the game. Dwight, 48, St. Bede, 14.
I'll do St. Bede. You don't really need much for Dwight. I would think just some key ones. Nothing really to 12 first downs.
"70 years of serving our members, and we invite you to be one." Hi, this is Steve Piano from Illinois Valley Credit Union. IVCU was established in 1955 to help the employees of Marquette Cement Company. 7 years later, IVCU is here to help anyone living, working, and worshiping in LaSalle, Bureau, or Putnam counties. IVCU probably serves over 4,000 loyal members, and you can be one too. Checking and savings accounts, credit cards, auto and personal loans, and more. Stop by IVCU in Peru or Princeton, or visit our website, ivcu.com. Celebrating 70 years of serving Illinois Valley. IVCU. You are who we are. Member NCUA.
JB Contracting is an electrical mechanical contractor and has earned a reputation around here as a first-rate contractor. After decades in our area, JB Contracting's philosophy has remained the same: to deliver quality work on time and on budget. JB Contracting is also family-owned and operated and has been a huge part of the rich history of St. Bede Academy and is proud to sponsor St. Bede football. If you're looking for an electrical or mechanical contractor, call JB Contracting. You can see more anytime at jbcontracting.com.
What's your game plan this fall? Don't let your comfort get sidelined. Grazier's Plumbing and Heating is ready to tackle every heating and air problem head on. We proudly install and service Carrier heating and cooling systems known for their industry-leading performance and reliability. Call today for your fall clean and check. We'll ensure your home's comfort is a sure win all season long with a high-quality Carrier system. Call Grazier's Plumbing and Heating at 882-2111. That's 882-2111. Grazier's Plumbing and Heating and Carrier, a winning game plan.
Times are tough, but our communities are tougher. We need a sheriff who won't back down from crime, drugs, or politics that put us at risk. I have the experience, the courage, and the commitment to protect our families. As sheriff, I will fight for safer streets, safer, stronger schools, and a future where our kids can grow up without fear. On Election Day, stand with law and order. Stand with Edward Yauk. I'm Edward Yauk, and I ask for your vote.
Paid for by We the People Support Yauk for Sheriff.
Hey, this is Mark at Someone's in the Kitchen in Princeton. We've got a spankin' new contemporary kitchen display for you to see featuring Zona Vita cabinets. That's Zona Vita, meaning living space. These cabinets are made for living, all right. Wow, sleek Italian styling, smooth German engineering, organized by our designers for your active life right here in America. Better come and see, and let's imagine together. At Someone's in the Kitchen in Princeton.
Well, this is it, folks. 10 seconds left. 4th down. Lifetime of Smiles and their all-stars of Dr. Ed, Dr. Pat, Dr. Lee, and Dr. Ken are down to their final chance with the Cavity Creeps looking to seal the victory and ruin Smiles as we know it. Let's go to the huddle.
Come on, guys. We can do this. You know the plan. Brush on 3.
1, 2, 3, brush. Lifetime of Smiles to the line of scrimmage.
Set. Floss every day. Hut, hut, brush.
And here we go. Dr. Ed lets go a magnificent pass. It's in the air. In. Dr. Ken comes down with it. He's got one man to beat. There's a block from Dr. Pat. Touchdown! A lifetime of smiles. Cleanings, crowns, fillings, and more for everyone. Dr. Ed wins. Dr. Ed wins.
Dr. Ed.
What?
Your next patient is here.
I just had the most wonderful dream.
For a game-winning smile, you've got to see Dr. Ed, Dr. Pat, Dr. Lee, and Dr. Ken at a lifetime of smiles in LaSalle. Same-day crowns, implants, root canals, extractions, Invisaligns. They do it all. Enrolled associates, analysis, oral surgeons, endodontists, orthodontists, periodontists, or pediatricians.
Start your day with Rod and Tom. Then get updates throughout the day on 103.9 WLPO. Starved Rock News, Talk, and Classic Rock.
St. Bede falls today on homecoming, 48-14 to the Dwight Trojans. Dwight got the only score in the first quarter, a 4-yard touchdown run, but they exploded in the second quarter with 28 unanswered points. They had a 26-yard pass, a 57-yard pass, a 22-yard run, and a 2-yard run. And then they were able to take advantage of an interception right out of the gate in the second half, and they had an 8-yard pass to get the clock running at 6:42. St. Bede had the last two scores of the game. Riva, a 9-yard run at 2:39 of the third quarter. The 2-point conversion failed. And then Gino Ferrari, a 7-yard run in the fourth quarter. And Riva had the 2-point conversion run in. So that was it, 48-14. Again, just one turnover between the two teams. And that was an interception thrown by Gino Ferrari. So 48-14, the final score, Dwight over St. Bede. St. Bede falls to 2-4. Dwight goes to 3-3. We'll go ahead and name our player of the game here. Today's player of the game, St. Bede Bruin player of the game, is brought to you by First Aid Bank. First Aid Bank is locally owned, committed to exceptional service and convenient products like Zelle and on-the-go mobile banking. To learn more, contact the winning team at First Aid Bank. He was one of the 2 touchdown scorers. He also had a 2-point conversion, played a nice game on defense as well. So we'll give the player of the game today to Carson Riva, who did a little bit of everything for St. Bede today.
He's all over the field, got a couple of fair catches on kickoffs, and he just stuck his head in there and stayed in it and played a tough game all the way through.
He is our player of the game. Now for the drive of the game, Vlasnik's Menswear is your drive of the game sponsor. Shop formal wear and workwear at Vlasnik's. Proud to support the St. Bede Bruins. Of the 2 scoring drives, Brownie, for St. Bede, you want to pick one over the other as far as their drive of the game for St. Bede? Obviously, the first one was nice because they finally got on the board with the Riva 9-yard run.
I think that one was nice. Just they came back a little bit and just plucked away, and the other one was pretty much, I think, probably against the reserves.
Yeah. So we'll give it to that first scoring drive in the third quarter, finished off by a 9-yard run by Carson Riva. So that is our Vlasnik's Menswear drive of the game. Brownie, you got some stats for us here?
Okay, well, Dwight obviously dominating the game as they win it, 48-14. Dwight ended up the game with a total offense of 387 yards, and it was probably, they had 277 rushing, 101 passing. Pass receiving, Starks, the tight end, he caught 3 passes for 70 yards and a touchdown. And the leading rusher in the game was Cullum, as he carried the ball for 15 times, 101 yards, a couple of touchdowns. And so that pretty much wraps it up, as Dwight just had their way the whole way through. As the St. Bede stats, domination is shown. The Bruins with 12 first downs, 2 out of 7 on third downs, 0 out of 2 on fourth downs. They were penalized 6 times for 31 yards. They lost the one interception, was the only turnover in the game. And Ryan Solomon had a 36-yard average on 4 punts. Bruins rushed the ball for only 101 yards on 21 attempts. And Gino Ferrari passing was 2 out of 10, 1 interception for 31 yards. Bruins only mustered 131 yards total offense. They go down to the White Trojans by a final margin of 48-14, and they're on the road next week to state-ranked Seneca.
Yeah, it does not get any easier as they hit the road to take on Seneca next week. But now time to put your focus on enjoying the rest of the homecoming weekend here at St. Bede Academy. Of course, the dance tomorrow night, so hopefully everybody has a fun and safe rest of the homecoming weekend here at St. Bede. Want to, of course, thank our St. Bede Academy homecoming broadcast sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, Grazer's Plumbing and Heating. Also, a Republican candidate for Bureau County Sheriff, Edward Yauk. Heartland Auto Body, Connexus, SITK Kitchen and Bath, Friends of Liz Bishop, Derek Braden, Edward Jones, Town and Country Services, Illinois Valley Credit Union, WeTech Wealth Management. Also want to thank other sponsors of St. Bede Bruins football, including Tom Kammerer for Bureau County Sheriff, The Locker Room, Brew Waltham Mutual Insurance, LaSalle Body and Fender, Spring Valley City Bank, Vlasnik's Menswear, and First Aid Bank. We urge you to do business with all of our sponsors. Want to thank John Spencer, engineering back at the WLPO studios in Oglesby, and want to thank my longtime partner Mike Brown as we bid adieu from another homecoming game at St. Bede Academy. Again, unfortunately, the Dwight Trojans proved to be pretty tough today. They beat St. Bede 48-14. Have a great rest of your weekend.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of 1039 W.